Hey man, I'm Derek Gordon, and it's that Midnight Hustle. Thanks for joining us again. I know I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. Shit's just been going a little crazy around here. I'll explain it another time. I don't feel like fucking getting into it right now. And also, I have a guest here. That wouldn't be appropriate for me to start talking about my personal shit where somebody's waiting to fucking cut a promo. So, by the way, Aquafina is not a sponsor of the show, but you could be. So, if you know the vibes, hit me up, cut the check. We can work this shit out a little later. Anyhow, joining me today, dear good friend of mine from the days when I was booking NWA cyberspace. We met in that organization, and they say that when you're in the business, you're lucky if you walk away with 5 good friends. I definitely count this guy on one of the hands. I'm not sure which one, the left or the right. Definitely not the one that I jerk off with because I don't think of him that way. But anyway, I got my dude here. You guys know him, the journeyman, the greatest unsigned talent in professional wrestling, the Greek God Papadon. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, Derek, in the Midnight Hustle? Now, listen, I'm going to set this record straight, and we're going to be 100% honest tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're not going to BS the listeners. And I want everyone to know out there, he does think of me that way. Because at the end of the day, there's 2 types of people in this world. There's Greeks and those who want to be Greek. And Derek wants to be Greek because he wants to be baptized Greek style. That's all I'm saying.
It's funny that you bring that up because I was just thinking before we started recording how way back, like we're talking like 10, 15 years ago, I used to bust your balls all the time because if you listen to this guy's voice, he sounds like a paisan. So I used to just fucking say he was Italian. He goes, dude, I'm not Italian. Like, you sure? He's like, of course I'm fucking sure. I'm Greek. I was like, nah, you're Italian. Yo, he would get fucking hot.
It's funny. you say I sound Italian. All the people who watch me wrestle say I look Puerto Rican. So I can't win. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think I am. I know what I am, and that's the greatest unsigned talent that there is in professional wrestling today. And whatever you guys think I am, Puerto Rican, Italian, Greek, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna step in the ring, do my thing, entertain the fans in the ring, on the mic, on my podcast, on the Midnight Hustle. Because guess what? Once you go Greek, you can't poop for a week. So you're good to go.
Ooh. That must be like the second part of that. How do you separate the boys from the men in Greece? Since with a crowbar, right?
Exactly.
All right.
The Greek army motto: never leave your partners behind.
You sound like the fucking dude from Training Day. Hey, Holmes, do you ever have your shit pushed in?
Hey, Holmes, do you ever have your shit pushed in? Hey, vato, don't you know I'm loco?
It's funny because, it's like you said, and we discussed this briefly before we started recording. I mean, this isn't an interview. I'm not interviewing Greek God Papadon, even though you're on fucking gimmick 24/7 round the clock. But I mean, we know each other. There's shit that we can discuss. There's shit that we can argue about. There's similar things that we have in common in the ways that we view the industry, whether it's professional wrestling, whether it's Hollywood. So I mean, right now, anybody who's listening or watching this, you're basically a fly on the wall on a conversation between 2 bros. And, first thing that I wanted to bring up, because, I mean, it's something that it's got to go without saying. Havok, man. Ed Toscano, R.I.P. to the brother. And, dude, I did your podcast a couple of weeks ago, the New Force Order, which I had a fucking blast on. Shout out to you and your guys. And we talked about doing some other stuff and doing this podcast that we're doing right now. So when you gave me a call, I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna start busting my balls. But my wife's father passed away and all this other shit was going on. So like my life was just in an upheaval at the time. So I was like, fuck, Jimmy's gonna start busting my balls that I didn't book him yet. And then I heard your voice and I knew right off the bat something was fucking wrong. And you guys were managed by the sure thing, John Shane, and John had his struggles with health issues a couple of years ago. And shout out that he kicked out on that. I was not expecting to get that news. And for a couple of weeks prior to me getting that news, I had been working on putting a lot of content on the Midnight Hustle YouTube page. And a lot of that content featured you and Ed, aka Havok, your tag team partner, The Solution. And one of the last videos I had put up before I got that was when I had told you guys in the relaunch of NWA Cyberspace or NWA Shockwave that you guys are going to be individual champions, and he was my heavyweight champion. And I watched that video 2 or 3 times because you can see the emotion there in him. And it felt like maybe he thought in his mind that he wasn't good enough. Maybe he thought in his mind that nobody would ever give him a chance to be a single star. And here we were giving him that first opportunity. You see him stumbling and fumbling. You were already polished. You look great, and you had the fucking suit and tie on it. And he just looked like, and dude, he felt like a kid who, and again, NWA Cyber, that's just a fucking indie promotion, now defunct, but just to see Ed as Ed, not as Havok. And I watched that 2 or 3 times. I don't know why. And when you called me and gave me that terrible news, my head just shot to that fucking promo. And dude, my heart's been broke. I've been thinking about him a lot lately. Been thinking about you, seeing how you guys have been holding up, because I know you guys have been tight. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Havok, or let the people know out there who aren't familiar with the solution.
Okay. Ed Toscano is a man's man. He was a great guy outside the ring with a big heart. He was like a giant teddy bear. If you ever seen The Incredibles, he's the human personification of Mr. Incredible. He used to drive a little red Jeep. So picture him with his big ass frame, sitting in the little red Jeep, driving his Jeep, drinking his coffee. Um, Ed's a brother from another mother. We met at the doghouse. He was originally trained at WXW by Alpha, the Wild Samoan, and that his school in Pennsylvania. And then after he graduated and became a pro wrestler, he went to the doghouse where he would polish his craft under the tutelage of Homicide, my trainer. So we were both single stars at the time. We wrestled each other here, there, everywhere during the doghouse era. And at the time, there weren't no established tag teams. So they wanted to put Ed in a tag team with somebody. He had a black singlet. I had a black singlet. They said they look good together as a tag team. So they put us together. And when lo and behold, the Hit Squad, Monster Mac and Danny Moth, at the time just known as Mafia, was wrestling for JAP and Jersey Championship Wrestling, JCW, for Ricky O. And they brought us in for Ricky O, and we had a tryout match with them, and Ricky loved us and brought us in, and we were his tag team with, part of his tag team division. So that was the first place we worked together outside the doghouse. Initially, Ricky O wanted to call us the Wise Guys. We were like, no, we don't like the name too much. He's like, all right, then come up with your own names, because Ricky's very flexible like that. Cool dude. So we wanted to just be Papadon and Havok, like Christian and Edge. We didn't want a team name. We wanted our names to stand out. So when people saw us, they knew who we were. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So one day I heard the word Final Solution, right? And I said, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So we're driving the car, and I go to Ed and John Shane. I got the name for our tag team. We could be the Final Solution. They burst out laughing like we can't be called them. I'm like, why not? That's a dope name. They go, you idiot. That's the name associated with the Holocaust. I went, oh. I said, you're right. I didn't even think of that. And I said, well, then fuck it. How about just the solution? Because everybody else is the problem. And they're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. So that's how the solution was born. And then Ed and I, from 2001 to about 2006, were, I would say, on 99% of all the shows in the East Coast, whether it was Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New York, Boston, just wrestling all over, winning championships all over in many promotions, having great matches with great tag teams, and had a grand old time. After 2006, unfortunately, we had to go our separate ways because all these other teams that are coming onto the scene were getting opportunities with Ring of Honor, TNA at the time, and we weren't getting our breaks. We went to TNA twice. We wrestled down at the Nashville Fairgrounds. First time we wrestled the Harris Brothers. Then we wrestled CM Punk and De Niro. And they were both on the Explosion matches. They were like 5-6 minute matches. Really nothing to write home about. Not that they were bad matches, but what the hell are you going to do in 4 minutes, of ring time, in a tag match? So we got a lot of burn, thanks to you, thanks to Billy Firehawk with all the TNA talent, with our feud with America's Most Wanted, with the Naturals. Jeff Jarrett liked us, told us a story about Fire Island when he was young. He used to go to Fire Island when he was younger. at one of the shows. And as we're talking, then Billy Hall Firehawk pulled him away for something. And I went, oh, fuck. We're never going to get to talk to Chef Jarrett again about getting signed or whatever. So we never got our opportunity with TNA. So I go to Havok. You know what, Ed? You know, we've been doing this, what, 5 years, 6 years. We've done everything we could as a tag team. We're not getting looked at by the big places. WWE at the time didn't want tag teams or managers. So it was only Ring of Honor TNA. And for some reason we were getting an opportunity with Ring of Honor here and there, doing a couple darks, but nothing really serious. So I said, why don't we just do singles? Why don't we try our shot at singles? And we did. And he went his way as Havok. Later on, hooking up with Monster Mac and JP, becoming the heavy hitters as a tag team as well. In cyberspace, becoming your world champion. Me becoming the internet champion. And, wrestling singles everywhere else. And to tell you that Ed was not a good wrestler or a singles wrestler would be it'd be a lie. If you thought Ed was great as a tag wrestler, he was that much better as a singles wrestler, in my opinion. He is a throwback to Dick Murdoch, Don Morocco, Dusty Rhodes. You don't see him do anything flashy, but what he did looked real and effective. And his promos were second to none, only because they were very real. He didn't sit there and try to come up with catchphrases and try to be, not in the word marketable, but try to be an entertainer. He was an athlete that was entertaining. You know what I mean? There's a difference. So it sucks that he passed away, obviously, because not only is he a friend and someone I consider my brother, but he was a father. And that is going to be his greatest legacy. Being a tremendous father to his 11-year-old daughter, being a loving husband to his wife, and the fact that he passed away on a Monday night. I was talking to him Monday morning. And then getting the call next Tuesday, the following day, Tuesday, from his brother that he passed away. To tell you that my heart sunk and it felt like I got stabbed in the stomach would be an understatement, because that's something you don't expect. There's only been a couple other times I gotten phone calls where people passed away. Probably, maybe one or two other times regarding people in the business. But this one is too close to home, and it does suck. And my condolences to the Toscano family. And I know definitely John, Shane, and I definitely are dealing and coping with this the best we possibly can. Shout out to everybody who showed Ed love on social media. He was all over the place. From what I understand, people were saying nothing but good things about him. And to those who showed up at the wake and the funeral, thank you. A couple of the guys showed up, a couple of referees. So, it was what it was. It was something that makes you realize that, life is short. You never do know. And I'll tell you off air what happened. I'm not going to share his
Yeah, of
business.
course, of course.
But it's just something you wouldn't expect. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
nothing, no foul play, no drugs or anything like nonsense like that. Just something out of the blue, came out of nowhere. Boom.
it's natural causes.
Natural, but like you're like, holy shit! Like when I
Yeah,
tell you,
out of nowhere though.
yeah. So it sucks. I'm looking to, honestly, I'm looking to establish a GoFundMe for his daughter. I actually got to call his ex-wife and find, because you got to link the GoFundMe to a bank account. And I don't want anything linked to my bank account or anything that might get misconstrued as me taking money from away from the family. I don't want anything like that getting looked at the wrong way. Not only by people, but by Uncle Sam as well. You know what I'm saying? So once I get all the information, I'm going to try to set one up. I've never done it before, so I got to try to look at the YouTube videos and see how to do it properly. Or I think they have a tutorial on the website of the GoFundMe website. So I'm going to set one up and raise some funds for his daughter, whether it's for a Sweet 16 or college or whatever the case may be. Just something, because I love that guy so much. So
Yeah, man, definitely let me know. We'll put it out there. We'll get people involved. I don't want to be. I don't want him to be forgotten. It's one of those things where, like, we hadn't heard from him for so long. He popped up on social media, but like undercover was like, "Hey man, what's up? Remember me?" I was like, "Fuck man, of course I remember you." And we chat back and forth, man. And Todd and I did a podcast where we were doing some reminiscing about the cyberspace days, and when it came to the topic of you guys and John Shane, it's just like we just had to take a portion of that show and just show tremendous respect, but mostly tremendous love because I mean you guys did so much and we clicked so well, and especially in my position because I came in a little hostile territory, and you guys were the first ones to really make me feel at home there and understood and knew what I was trying to bring to the table. And like you said, at any time that Ed would cut a promo, he wasn't playing wrestler. He was a wrestler, but it was passionate, and he never did anything to pop the boys in the back, except for when we asked him to. But
And I forgot about that. I
you
saw
know
it
what
and I
I'm talking
forgot
about.
it. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, man, and it's just like you'd watch his promos, and you would think he was going to war. You would think that he was going to fight for his life in that ring, and man, you just don't see that anymore because everything's too scripted. Everything's overproduced. Everything's just so fucking paint by numbers. And Ed is the last of a dying breed. I mean, you're still out there. There's still a handful of guys out there. We're going to talk about that a little later, but um, yeah, man, like you said, that one hit me in the heart. I had been watching a lot of the videos. Anything that we can do for the family, please let me know. And man, we'll do everything we can to just keep his memory out there and let everybody know. And maybe when his daughter grows up, she'll get to see his matches. I'm sure she didn't get to see him in the ring, but just see how much her dad was loved by his peers and respected.
Oh, when I tell you, because his day job, he was a bay constable on the Long Island Sound. Well, for you
Mhm.
guys out there don't know what that means, he was a water police officer,
Yeah.
a water cop, if you will. So because a lot of people, especially wrestling fans, don't know what constable means. There's too many syllables.
Mhm.
So, um, they knew all about us. Every day, Ed would go in and tell them a new story about something on the road, and not the wait, they would all come up to us and like they're like, we never met you, but we to John and myself, we're like, but we know all about you, and you would fit in with us and with Ed, and they were very kind and very generous with their words, and he was very loved not only in the wrestling world, not only by his family and friends, but everywhere he went. His job. How many people could say they're loved by everyone in their job? You know what I'm saying? How many people could say that they're loved by everybody in their town, the people they grew up with, their family, uh, the people, the fans, the people that they shared locker rooms with. So all these people can't be wrong, man. So like I said, the guy had a heart of gold and $1 million mind when it came to being a person, a real person. If you didn't like it, you tell you. You know, I remember one story. I'm not gonna name names who he was wrestling. He was in. They didn't want to take chops in the match, and Ed was the champ at the time in the Doghouse, the Long Island Wrestling
Mhm.
Federation. So he was the heavyweight champ. So he chopped the guy in the match, and the guy goes, "Hey man, I thought I told you don't chop." Ed looked at him and goes, "I'm the champ," and chopped him again. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, you're in my world. So that was Ed. But again, it was it's a very unfortunate circumstance, and to tell you that I don't think about him every day is an understatement. We kept in touch via messenger and texting and this, that, and the other. Uh, him, John, and myself got together, I think once or twice. Unfortunately, me and my 37 kids, Ed has his kid, and John has his kids, and life, and on everything that comes in between, all the distractions like bills and work and stuff like that. It's kind of hard just to get together every week. So we kept tabs on each other. We always talk to each other, and it just sucks that this had to go down. But Ed, I will always love you, and until I see you again, and until I reach out for the hot tag, whether it's up in the pearly gates or in our next lifetime, I love you, my brother. Godspeed.
Absolutely, man. Amen to that. Let's talk about you, my guy. So we said at the beginning of the show, the greatest unsigned talent in the business today. Now, you and I last worked, was it 2007? Some years ago. I mean, we weren't even in the fucking teens yet.
I had hair.
Another decade. Yeah, me too. Barely. But, you know, before we start digging deep into your journey and whatever obstacles you had along the way, what are you doing right now? Pandemic's hitting, it's fucking up your bookings. A lot of these small indie places aren't, nobody's running shows. They're afraid to do it. What have you been doing the last year and a half?
I've had 3 matches. I mean, I've trained. I mean, I'm still going to the gym every day, and I'm keeping myself in shape. So I can't complain about that. I'm dropping slowly and surely the 5-10 pounds I put on in the beginning of COVID. It's coming off. Um, as far as matches go, I've only had 3 matches. Two for Invictus Pro Wrestling, which were outdoor shows in New Jersey. I wrestled a guy named Dennis Morgan, good kid. I think he's been in the business a few years, maybe 2-3 years. Was trained by Bubba Dudley and Tommy Dreamer, and good kid. Listens, has a very bright future if he keeps his head on straight. And then I wrestled Ace Austin from TNA. Had a great match with him. Have a story for that one. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
And my third match I wrestled was in California for United Wrestling Network when they were doing their pay-per-views with the NWA. Um, I wrestled Remy Marcel, who's a guy from Nevada. Great worker. Um, Champion in FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling in Nevada. Had a great match with him. The guy's talented as all hell. Made me look like $1 million. Hopefully, he feels the same way that I made him look like $1 million in return. And there was a nice, good, solid match. Um, and that was it. I mean, other than that, I got like 3 or 4 bookings lined up for August, but there's been nothing open. Absolutely nothing open. And whatever has been open, like these outdoor shows, they only can draw 50 fans at most. They only, because at the time it was like 20-30% capacity level. So they're not going to pay me my GGP rate. You know, for someone who's been in the business 21, going on 22 years, I'm not working for a hot dog and a handshake. I need at least 3 hot dogs and a handshake in order to get my fucking rate going. But, um, it sucks because what are you going to do? I mean, the whole scenario with COVID, I have my own ideas and beliefs and everything that went down the way it went down, and the way things are unraveling now. Anyway, we went down the wrong rabbit hole today.
We did. We did.
But again, it's not an interview. It's just you and I talking.
It's not. It's just shooting the shit. But like I said, I'm not going to talk politics with you because we can go back and forth all day long, throw statistics, throw fucking supposed facts. I don't want to do that. Fuck it. Let's talk about entertainment.
Yeah,
I don't want people to tune out and say, "Oh, fuck that guy, Greek God Papadon," because of what he said politically. Fuck that. We don't need that. I want them to say fuck him because of the worker he is. So
they can't, because they know when they come see me at a show, they'll leave remembering me, and that's a guaranteed fact. Whether it's because I incorporated them into the show, made them part of the show, and made a moment with each and every fan at that show that they wanted to crucify me, stone me, cut my head off, put it on a spike like a stormtrooper helmet on a Mandalorian show, whatever the case may be. I get the fans in such a frenzy. They loathe me, hate me, detest me, but at the end of the day, they remember me. So,
which is the big key. And that's what I want to bring up, something you've been doing lately, and I want to say in the last 2 weeks or so. Citizens of Leg Slap City. So I like what you're doing. I'm gonna critique it though. I like what you're doing. I just don't think you should be doing it. You personally, for certain reasons. I want you to sell me on why you're doing it and what convinced you. Hey, you know what? This is a good idea. Let me go out there and start educating these people out there about obviously the leg slaps. I know it was a big controversial topic. I know that, Vince McMahon is just saying, I don't want to see that shit on TV. And Jim Ross made some comments about it. So I figured, that's a good thing for you to jump in on and say, hey, listen, I'm in the business. I know how to fucking work without slapping my leg. I know how to make this look real. And now you're going out there and you're doing the social work of telling these people how to do it the right fucking way, because they're learning the wrong ways. They're learning how to entertain. They're learning how to slap the leg. They're learning about the pyros, the lights, the ring music, the posing, but they don't know how to fucking work in the ring. Everything's overproduced. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't think you should be doing it, but I want you to tell me why you decided to go ahead and do it.
Okay, so who talks first? You talk first or I talk first?
You talk first. You go.
Okay. That was a little Star Wars reference for you, but you didn't pick up on it. So, this is why I did it. A long time ago, not in a galaxy far, far away, but in this realm that we call Earth, in our timeline, there was an individual by the name of Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette, on a video one time, says, hey, if you're in this business and you're able to help out someone in this business, whether it's a veteran or someone who's a greenhorn or someone who's not as seasoned as you are, and you don't, but you have the opportunity to do so, then you're a piece of shit, and you're just as guilty as those who are messing this business up because you're not taking it upon yourself to give back. And those words stood with me very truthfully and wholeheartedly. So I said to myself, I will do this only to educate those who want to learn. Now, everything that I put down in these posts, I will start doing videos soon on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
because obviously people don't like to read, but whatever. The reason I started doing it is because I've been wrestling almost 22 years. In July, it'll be 22 years. I was trained by Homicide. I was trained by Mikey Whipwreck. Now, everywhere I go, every federation, I've won championship belts across this country in many, many companies. Current champion in 3 different federations. Not a champion, but the champion, the heavyweight champion. Right? Wrestled everyone and their mother who's a name in this business. So, with all that being said, I'm not on TV. For some rhyme, reason, maybe I pissed somebody off. Maybe I said hello to somebody while they were eating during catering and they fucking blackballed me. Whatever. Maybe it's not my time yet. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I wish I did. But
That's why I've been dying to ask you: is who did you piss off? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I know is that every time I go and get or try to get an opportunity, whether I work as an extra for WWE, I work Ring of Honor matches, I work TNA, Evolve, whatever. All these quote unquote A plus federations that everyone's clamoring to, I get touted for my ability on the mic, the fact I speak 2 languages, both English and Greek, the fact I can wrestle anybody. I've wrestled luchadors who can't speak English and still had tremendous matches.
Call it in the ring.
Not even, yeah. I understand. I could be a little bit fluent in Spanish, right? Wrestled Japanese stars, tremendous matches. I've had people who are on TV telling me, Pops, you should be here with us. And I'm not naming names, but they tell me, I don't know why you're not. And I wish I could do something, but I can't. And I understand why. It's a dog-eat-dog world. That's the way the system is. They're looking out for themselves. I understand. So I don't know. But at the same time, I see all these kids on TV who look shredded because they only weigh 110 pounds. So they're all skin and bones. And they go on TV with sneakers. And they go on TV and they don't lock up properly. Or they do a shitty lockup. And they do a couple of flips. They no-sell kicks to the face and punches to the face or forearms to the face, but they sell chops. Or they do flippity, floppity, flippity, flippity, blah, blah, blah. And they don't sell anything. And they slap their legs on every fucking punch, move, chop, whatever. And it just looks fake. But they're getting an opportunity, whether they're someone's friend, whether they're the flavor of the week, whatever the case may be. I don't know. So I'm going to take it upon myself to push my flavor of ice cream or my flavor of wrestling, because wrestling's like ice cream. You have vanilla, you have strawberry, you have chocolate. My flavor is believability or realism, whatever you want to label it. Because when you see me in the ring, whatever I do looks 100% legit, to the point where I tell people that people tell me, hey, Pops, that looks like a shoot. Is everything okay? Everything's fine, dude. Why? It's supposed to look like that. If I'm fooling the boys or the promoters, then I'm doing my job, because then the people are going to buy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever the case may be, I am not, look, I have a very good life. I'm not going to lie. I have a family. I have a good job. My dream, headline WrestleMania. Whose dream isn't it? My dream, to become NWA champion, New Japan champion, to go in the Tokyo Dome, whatever the case may be. Will it happen? God willing. If it doesn't happen, would I be upset and grizzled and say F the business? No. But at the same time, while I'm here, I can try to make the business better. So I'll drop my knowledge that was passed to me through many different avenues of individuals, right? Through my trainers or whatever other veteran pulled me aside and said, "Hey, kid, ABC. Hey, kid, XYZ. Hey, kid, that was good, but do this. Hey, kid, why'd you do this? Well, because this guy told me, okay, all right. Well, if I was you, I would do this instead. Okay, thank you, sir." And yada, 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 yada. So I'm trying to pay it forward. That's why I do it. But let's face
Mhm.
facts. You see these people on TV? Like I said, leg slap, citizens of Leg Slap City. That's what they are. And they don't make any sense because if I'm going to hit you with a flying knee, why would I be slapping my leg if I'm wearing a knee pad? There's cushion around my knee. You're not supposed to hear a sound. So they're doing it to get a reaction from the fans. And
Mhm.
the reason why they want to get a reaction from the fans is because if they get a reaction from the fans, they think they're over. But in actuality, they're not really over because after the fan, whose attention span, thanks to technology and having a smartphone or an Android in their hands, their attention span is very minuscule. And that means small amount of time, people, right? To the point where they've seen something 2 or 3 times. I've seen it already. Next, like they say in the barbershop. So what happens? The guy who thinks was really getting over by hearing the fans because he was slapping his leg or doing the latest flippity doodah move or dropping his opponent unsafely on his head to get a "this is awesome" chant. By the third or fourth time he does it, the sound of the crowd depletes. So now that first wrestler, said wrestler, wasn't over. His job getting his opponent over never works, so the opponent isn't over. The storyline or the match never got over, and now the move is so watered down that the move is over. So at the end of the day, nobody's over. Nothing's advanced. So they're just pissing in the wind, right? So it doesn't work. So why are people like Goldust, Honky Tonk Man, Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Rick Rude, Sting, the Horsemen? Why are these people so over? And they're still talked about today. I'll tell you why. Because believability, realism. They captured your attention. They gave you something that you were able to emotionally vest yourself into and attach yourself into. And then they were able to be the puppet master of said emotion.
So here's the thing. I agree with you 100%. As a matter of fact, a day or two ago, I had a conversation with my son. He's not a big wrestling fan. As a kid, he's like, "Oh, Rey Mysterio. I like the mask. I like the flippity do that shit. I love Seth Rollins, blah, blah, blah." He never got invested in the product. He never got invested in the product because there was nothing to invest in. Now, I told him, he said, "Hey, Dad, if things were still going, would you still be with WSW or would you still be doing the thing with Pseudo?" I said, "If I had a reason, yes, I would still be involved. Unfortunately, I don't have a reason to be here because it's not the same business that I fell in love with. I fell in
Agreed.
love with something that looked like a sport that as a kid, I was like, holy shit, these guys are not only larger than life, but is that real? They look like grown men, not children in the fucking ring, beating the shit out of each other that I could see brothers and sisters doing outside all day long. There's no storylines for me to invest in. Nothing that drags out for a year's time. There's no enhancement matches for me to say, holy shit, this guy is in the ring with that tub of shit right now. This guy's not even, he shouldn't even be in the ring. That finish looks so devastating. What's going to happen when he does it to somebody who matters? There's no
Exactly.
dream matches. There's no excitement. There's nothing there. Like we mentioned before, it's overproduced. It's all about the lights. It's all about the entrances, the music, selling T-shirts, the catchphrases, all that other bullshit that has nothing to do with the actual storytelling in the ring to build that feud, to build that anticipation, to pull those emotional heartstrings. And that's why I can't fucking watch it. It's to me, it's the equivalent of Disney on Ice. It's like, hey, we've got this star and that star and Roman Reigns and this with all your favorite stars out here on ice, and they're gonna do their favorite moves and their favorite catchphrases and their five fucking spots, and that's it. And you'll go home happy, and that's not what I want to fucking see. I want to see a story so that I go on immediately when the show is over to go downstairs to the garden, buy another fucking ticket for the next month because I gotta know what happened. You left me with a cliffhanger, and they don't do it anymore. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, though, getting back to the original point, you're going out there and you're giving this advice. I know you. I know that you are a diehard wrestling fan. I know that you bleed it. Brother, you're like me. I go to bed at night booking in my head, knowing that I'll probably never do it again. But I go in like, God, I got this great fucking idea. Here's what I would do. Here's who I would book. Here's how I would, repurpose the shows. Maybe it's happening right now because I'm watching a lot of the old tapes that I never watched before my entire life. But I'm watching what you're doing, and I know where it comes from. I know in that big, bald fucking head of yours, you've got knowledge you want to share and you're doing a public service. But there's a lot of people out there, more than you know, that probably don't see it that way. I'm going to give you an example. You go on Twitter. I don't even know if he's doing it on Instagram right now or Facebook. Our buddy Devin Storm, Crowbar.
Oh yeah.
He's trying to reinvent himself.
He's done. His promos are great.
They are. They're great. I think they're fantastic.
Timeless.
But do you know what most people are saying right now?
What?
He's begging for attention. Look at me. I want one more run. Look at me. I can still do TV. Look at me. I used to be good. I can still be good now. I can do it again. And a lot of people, I'm afraid that they're going to look at you the same way saying, fuck, I haven't made it on TV yet. Look at me. I'm cutting promos. Look at me. I'm smart about the business. Look at me. I need attention. Who wants to book me? And I don't want that for you because they're going to say that you're fucking marking out for yourself.
Listen,
Instead
I see that point of view. I see that
Okay.
point of view. Okay. But look at it like this. And again, half empty, half full scenario, right? Before I even started doing any of these, right? Because I've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
I said to myself exactly what you said. Because I look at things from many different angles. Okay, not just one point of view.
Mhm.
So I said to myself, you know what? If people say that about me, then I have two things I can say. One, I don't give a fuck. Because these same people who are complaining are the same people that are ruining the business. And I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for the one person that might make a difference. And two, if I wasn't doing it, they wouldn't be talking about me. So now I'm in their mouths. Now I'm in their brain. So now, whether they love me, whether they hate me, they're talking about me. And I'm a topic of the conversation as opposed to being out of sight, out of mind, especially with COVID. So same thing with Crowbar. Look, a lot of people, if they're talking shit about Chris or Devin Storm or Crowbar, they need to know the guy can still go. The guy, he can still, there's a reason why no, you know this. I know this. You know, him and I were friends, but him and I never had a singles match. And we're dying to dance, dying. Look, there's certain guys in this business that are timeless. And I said this, I came up with this idea at an extreme, or not reunion, whatever the fuck it was called, Extreme Rising show.
Okay.
He says that Jim Cornette was calling him Timeless Devin Storm. I said, well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make a crew. And we could run with this somewhere called Timeless. It could be you, Stevie Richards, myself, and Homicide. Because the four of us don't age. And at my age, I'm not scared to tell my age. I'm 43 years old. This July, I'll be 44. I run circles around these fucking kids in the ring. I don't blow up. I can wrestle for an hour, 90 minutes, no problem. I've done it plenty of times in training. Plenty of times where me and Mike Mondo or me and some other guy in the ring are just rolling around for 45 minutes to an hour, open ring, no problem. And people are like, are you blown up? I'm like, no, I don't get blown up. I'm a fucking machine. And I'm not saying this to sound tough. I'm not saying this to fucking put myself over, because I'll be honest with you, 5 minutes playing with my kids, I'm blown up, right? But in the ring, I don't get blown up. I don't know if it's passion. I don't know if it's heart. I don't know if it's just a God-giving ability, like a Ric Flair or like a Harley Race or whatever, that can go and do these long matches. But I can do them, and I've done them before. So to these people that are saying, oh, he's just saying this because he never got a shot. You know what, dude? I never got my shot on the national level. Will I ever? Who knows?
But this is what we're talking about. You got 22 years in the business coming this July.
Yeah.
You want to impress the office. You want the office to look
Fuck
at
the
you.
office. The office.
But the office is who's going to offer you the contract.
Yes and no.
And if they see you going out there, say, hey, since this is Lake Slap City. Now, granted, whoever you're in the ring with on the indies, fuck them. They're climbing the same ladder you're climbing. The guys that are slapping their leg are on TV. So they're going to look at you and like, this fucking guy hasn't even been on TV 30 seconds. He's going to tell me what the fuck to do, not to slap my leg?
Here's the deal. If everyone's doing ABC and I'm doing XYZ, who's standing out? I am. If everyone's slapping their leg and I'm telling people not to slap their leg, if everyone's being SJW and safe space ready and fucking PC and I'm not, guess who's the number one heel? Your boy right here. Because I'm using Jedi mind tricks, reverse psychology, or just smart booking and doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing to make a name for myself. Now, I'm not just doing it because I'm looking for the attention. The main reason why I'm doing it is because I'm tired of seeing all these kids out there doing what they're doing and doing it wrong. Okay? A buddy of mine, and I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm not going to mention his name. He sent me a match today. He goes, hey, Pops, do me a favor. What do you think? So I watched the match. The match itself, the movements, the moves, they weren't bad. But I told him, look, this match is your typical indie match. It follows the same structure: lock up, chain, shine, heat, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, finish. I said there was no reason for me to care about certain spots in the match. And this is what I mean. For every action, there should be a reaction. If I'm a heel and in the chain wrestling, I'm out wrestling the face, there's something wrong. So the face has to out wrestle me in the chain wrestling and in the shine, to the point where I get so pissed off, I have to, by proxy, have to take a fucking shortcut to cut him off to go into the heat so I can get heat. If I do a fancy move to go into the heat, what does it mean? Absolutely nothing. It's a waste of a move. That's some big fancy move that could have been used either as a false finish or the finish of the match and end off on a high note. Sometimes these kids do such a cutoff or a double down or a false finish where it's this high and then the finish is flat. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to build their matches. So I'm telling him, this is what you should have done. This is why you should have done it. Give it reason. He kicks out of your fucking moves. You get pissed off. You can't believe it. You're upset. How the fuck is this kid getting out of your shit? Show that emotion.
That's exactly. And this is what I'm talking about. Where is the powder? Where's the chicken shit heel? Where's the guy that says, I opened my mouth too fucking big. Now he's coming after me. Oh, fuck, shit.
Right here. Exactly.
Gather my thoughts. It's not happening. There's no fucking art form anymore. My concern, again, taking it back to the original point, is that the fucking assholes that are on TV right now are going to go to the office like, look at this fucking guy talking shit, but he's not even here with us. Who the fuck is he to tell me what to do when I'm the one on TV? And I don't want you getting heat with the office. 22 fucking years, dude. You need 30. I don't give a fuck if it's a job match. I don't give a fuck if it's a streaming service. I don't give a fuck what it is. Dude, there are too many fucking promotions out there between the TNAs, the NWA Powers, the Ring of Honors that are on like some fucking channel right now, the Japan shows, MLW's doing fucking business with Viceland. I mean, why the fuck do you not have a spot on tele? I don't give it. It's a smaller promotion. I don't give a shit. It doesn't have to be the big leagues, all right? But TV time, the value, the fucking effort, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in, I don't want to see you putting your fucking boot in your mouth.
Look, I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate it. I honestly do that you care, because guess what? It means a lot to me. Not from a professional sense, but from a friendship point of view. All these promoters from all these federations, they all say the same thing. Oh, I'm tired of leg slap city. I'm tired of this guy who can't look like he can bust an egg, but he could do a flip being booked. I want realism. I want big crowds. I want my crowds rocking and rolling. And what happens? What happens? They book the flavor of the week, because some of these promoters are marks. Some of these promoters are more fans than the fans in attendance. Some of these promoters don't know how to promote. They think by throwing a fucking flyer on social media, that's promoting. They don't know how to go out and advertise or market properly, and no one comes to the shows. So what happens then? They'll try to book somebody who does a flashy move but looks like shit. You know, flippity doo dah, here I come on, your 460, whatever the fuck it's called. And then boom, what happens? Nothing. And then that's the name of the game. He'll get the payday, or she'll get the payday, or he or she will get the top spot. And those who deserve it, because if it was really based on talent, a lot of the guys, excluding myself, fuck that. If it was really based on talent, I'd be main eventing WrestleMania every year. And I have the confidence to say that because I know what I can offer. Mm-hmm. Okay, I went to that show with Ace Austin I was telling you about for Invictus Pro Wrestling. It was outside. We were the main event. Here's the story. First of all, Ace Austin, phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent. The guy looks like $1 million. He can work. So it was very fun working with someone who knows what to do. You know what I'm saying? How to do it well. Okay, especially on an indie level, because sometimes, you know, you don't get that opportunity. So I was supposed to go over. I come out. The crowd's dead. They've seen like 8 matches, 7 matches, whatever. Everyone and their mother's doing everything under the kitchen sink. Now, my buddy from the Conspiracy Horsemen, Big Sal Graziano from ECW, was at the match because it was maybe hop, skip, and a jump away from where he lives. So he goes, do you mind if I come down and just hang out? I said, no, come down, bro. I would love to see you. Told the promoter's like, yeah, tell him to come down and hang out. He tells me, yo, dude, there's some kid out there. with an Ace Austin sign. I went, light bulb, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So lo and behold, another deadly episode, GGP comes out. I get the crowd in a frenzy with what I do, how I enter the ring, my mannerisms, my look of disgust to the fans, telling them to be quiet, whatever I do, whatever antics I pull out of my sleeves or out of my hat, it always works. Because I know, trust me, you can ask my wife. I have the uncanny ability, God-given ability to piss people off very easily. Okay. So I get them on the edge of their seats. They're alive. They're rocking. I see the kid with the sign. Now Ace is in the ring. I roll out of the ring from the back door. I go behind the kid and I grab the sign. And I'm going to rip this fucking sign to Kingdom Come. I see the kid. I'm about to rip it. The kid's like, no, please don't rip it. I worked very hard. He signed it. Here's the dilemma. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have ripped that shit in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the kid with special needs.
Mm.
So I looked at him. I saw his soul in his eyes. I saw him and I felt so bad for him, right? Papadon disappeared. Jimmy, the father, the husband, was now holding the sign in front of this kid. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to rip this sign. Because if I rip this sign, this poor kid's going to have a heart attack. I don't want to do this to this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the innocence in his eyes. I see his soul. I'm hoping that Ace comes back and K-boshes me. But it happened so quickly. It didn't happen. So I didn't want to give him back the sign because I lose all credibility.
Right.
So what do? I can't rip the sign because I feel it in my heart. So what do? I put the sign on the floor. I drop it and I just step on it. Bah! And the kid's like, no. And then I walk away and the mother's cursing me out. So I tell the bitch to shut up. All right. I was like, you better shut your mouth, bitch, or else I will rip this sign. And I get back in the ring and then he starts beating. The crowd is booing me to Kingdom Come. Like they're ready to lynch my ass. To the point where, again, I was going over. We switched I get the Iggy from the referee that we have to switch the finish and put the face over so the fans can go home happy. So we changed the finish in the ring. It's not the first time I've done it. I've done it plenty of times.
I know.
Well, right? I've done it for you. I've done it for Alpha. I've done it plenty of times. I've done it at the doghouse. I'm a professional. I can do it. No worries. So we change it. I put him over. Great match. At the end of the night, I go back to the locker room. Sal comes back there. He goes, Big Sal goes to me, dude, you're a fucking sorcerer. I'm like, what the fuck you mean I'm a sorcerer? He goes, you're a male witch. He goes, because you just resurrected a fucking dead. You're like Jesus Christ, and the crowd was Lazarus. You resurrected that fucking crowd, and you brought them to life. I don't know how you did it. He goes, but you fucking did it, and you kept them at the edge of their seats the entire time you were out there with that other guy, and you sent them home happy, and you had the loudest ovations, the loudest reaction, and your match was match of the night. I went, Sal, I love you, my brother. Thank you very much for you being a seasoned veteran from ECW and WWE. That means the world to me. And you being, someone who's been to the dance and telling me this means the world to me. So, this is what I'm talking about. So what happens? Invictus has another show. I'm not booked for whatever reason. Okay, no problem. We're going to bring you in for the heavyweight tournament. He tells me in the summer. Whatever. Great. Cool. But you would think the guy who got the loudest reaction, the guy who resurrected the fucking crowd, the guy who's probably making the most money as any indie wrestler on the fucking crowd on the card because he knows his value and has earned his keep, should be on every fucking shows doing this. Mm-hmm. Whether he goes over or not doesn't necessarily matter. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about in general. But this is what I'm talking about. Promoters nowadays are not promoters. They preach to the stars that they want realism. They want that old school. They want a punch to look like a fucking punch. They want someone to punch somebody because at that moment, organically, it feels like they're going to punch someone in the match. They're not just punching someone to punch somebody. They're not just doing something to do something. They're not giving someone a kick in the head because it's a kick in the head or a suplex before a suplex. They're doing it because that's what you're supposed to do at that time if it was a real fight. And they all preach the same thing. They're all sung and pony dance. We want realism. We're tired of all this nonsense and leg slap city stuff and all this other stuff. Yo, what happens? These are the guys who are getting booked in all the companies. So it behooves me. You guys are everyone. All these promoters are preaching one thing. They want realism. They want this. They want that. And then they bring the talent on air, whatever company it is, and they're not offering what they're preaching.
Do you think the problem is because you're a pro wrestler and not a sports entertainer?
No, because I can be both. I can be a luchador because I can wrestle luchador style. I've done it before. I can be scientific world of sport wrestler. I can be strong style Japanese style wrestler, traditional American wrestler. You know, I can do the scientific stuff. I can be a high flyer if needed. I can do all this shit. I've done. Look, I'm a chameleon. I adapt to my surroundings and I make the most out of my surroundings. You want me to be a babyface? I'll come out and I'll be the best babyface I can be and get the crowd behind me, like I did with you. You should. I totally forgot about that promo I did with the tie and suit, and then I'm listening to myself talk as a babyface, and I'm like, "What a crock of shit!" The fans, fuck the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what you got to do. You got to incorporate the fans, make them feel like they can vicariously live through you, right? Not everybody can be a Stone Cold, right? Not everyone could be a badass, right? Not everybody could be the cool heel, which is an oxymoron. But you need your chicken shit heels. You need your badass heels. It's a variety show. You need different flavors of ice cream, or else it gets stale. You know what I'm saying? You go to Baskin Robbins, you have 32 flavors of ice cream. If it was all vanilla, they'd be out of business.
What gets me though is, and again, I barely watch pro wrestling now. I can't fucking sit through it. It annoys the shit out of me.
I only watch certain things here and there.
I try. I'll put it on for 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's a fucking chore to do it. The problem that I'm having is that I'm seeing certain talents. I know you don't want to mention names. You're still in the business. You don't want to fucking burn. I'll burn them for you. So I'll mention some names. I know that there's marketability in certain gimmicks. The New Day, let's take them for example. Throwing out fucking pancakes, trombones, all this other shit. Very talented workers. They didn't have all those fucking gimmicks. I don't know. Maybe they're appealing to the fans. Maybe that's what the little kids want. You got to know your audience. But when you flip the channel, you go to AEW or All Elite Wrestling, whatever the fuck they call themselves. I'm seeing talent on there too, where they're trying to discover new talent that, yeah, they've got a couple of veterans there. They got a couple of guys that they've poached out of the WWE, but they're trying to build their own guys like an Orange Cassidy, or they're trying to take some veterans like a guy like Eddie Kingston. I saw Eddie Kingston work 15 years ago. No disrespect to Eddie Kingston. I don't get it. He doesn't look like a wrestler. He's got a fucking mouth. He can talk his ass off. He'd be a phenomenal fucking bumping manager, but he looks like one of my drunk, unemployed cousins. I don't see why somebody would see Eddie Kingston and say, I need him on the show. I need to put him on TV. I need to pair him with Jericho. I need this guy to get that time. I see an Orange Cassidy. I get the whole thing, hands in the pocket. I'm doing things in slow motion. You can only take that so far. A guy like you, on the other hand, who in baseball, they would call you like a 5-tool player. You got it. Why the fuck are they picking these other guys? It's not like they need to teach you. You've been in the ring with some of the best. You've worked around the world. You've proven yourself. But why are these guys getting shots when they don't bring as much to the table as you do?
I don't have an answer for that. And those two guys you've mentioned, I've wrestled. But I'll tell you what separates them from everybody else. Eddie Kingston is real. What you see is what you get in the street, is what you get in the ring. So what do you see? You see a guy who talks the talk. And if you saw him in the street, he would fuck your ass up and beat the shit out of you the same way he would in the ring. Okay? That's why he gets signed, because he's different, in my opinion. Now, you don't have to agree. Now, I know Eddie. We've wrestled him. I've wrestled him when he was in Chikara as a tag team, the Wild Cards, and I wrestled him one-on-one for Jose Maximo's, your boy, Jose Maximo's federation.
Did you wrestle him for my tag team belts?
No, not for your tag team belts, right? Pop, right? So, the Ludus, right? The Fighting Spirit Wrestling, which was Jose Max, the Maximos is Joel Maximos' federation. Mm-hmm. Him and I did not touch for like 12 minutes. We had the crowd in such a fucking frenzy before we even touched. And then him and I had a great match. You can find it on YouTube somewhere. The referee kind of blew the finish a little because the referee was green. Not blew the finish, but the way he sold for the finish and all, and turned it kind of looked hokey in my opinion, but that's just me. But overall, the match was an 8 out of 10 in my opinion, right? Great match. Eddie can go. Eddie is real. Now, does he need to have washboard abs? No. I don't think so. He reminds me of Dick Murdoch, a Buzz Sawyer type wrestler, someone who doesn't need to be in bodybuilding shape. Does he need to get a little bit more toned up? That's debatable. Depends on what you're looking for. Now, Orange Cassidy, another guy I've wrestled. When he was starting the Orange Cassidy thing, and before that, great guy, great wrestler, tremendous ability. He offers something different. Now, the problem is people look at it and it comes off a little too much gimmick, too much entertainment. And I can see their point of view. But here's what I see. I see somebody, when push comes to shove, can wrestle. Doesn't need to wrestle to get over. Gets over doing something no one else is doing. And because of that, he doesn't have to wrestle and take all the crazy bumps and all this that he would have to do for a guy his size. And he's making the best out of the situation and he's getting over. Same thing with Joey Ryan at the time before all this shit happened. I've wrestled Joey Ryan, and Joey Ryan can go before the whole dick flip and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he found something that got what? Millions of clicks, made him a ton of money where he can buy a house in LA, and got him flown around the world doing all these things. And all he had to do was go like this and make believe some guy take a monkey flip off his balls. And he doesn't have to take a bump for it. And I don't have to put himself at risk. Fuck it. Milk it for everything you can. I mean, no different than Sacco, no different than certain other gimmicks that we've seen in the past. So he made it work. But here's the difference. And the same thing you can say about the Young Bucks. People say, oh, super kick party, super kick. I've wrestled each and every one of these guys. They know how to work. Each and every one of them know how to work. If the Young Bucks never threw another super kick again, they know how to work. And they know how to make the match work for them. Same thing with Orange Cassidy. Same thing with Eddie Kingston. Same thing with Joey Ryan. Same thing with whoever else that you may bring up. Or it doesn't matter. The point is that you get to a certain level in your career, you know how to work. And that is your plan B. You come up with something.
I agree with what you're saying. I take nothing away from these guys in terms of their ability, their athleticism, what they bring to the table. Yes, they have something. I won't say they have the it factor. They have something, though, okay? They know how to work. They can get in the ring. They can go toe-to-toe with a guy like you. Problem is, my old school mentality, I don't see that guy as a guy that I'm buying a ticket to see perform. I'm seeing him in the ring with somebody else who's 2 times his size, and I'm like, this guy's got no fucking shot. He's enhancement. I'm wired differently based on the generation that I was brought up in.
I agree. I understand
that maybe what 2021 is bringing, or maybe the last 10 years of professional wrestling, has changed the game so much and changed the landscape and just reprogrammed these children right now. With social media, you take TikTok, for example, they've got 1-minute videos. They're flipping. What's the next one? Okay, what's the next one? What's the next? And I feel like that's what's going on with the booking. What do we do next week? Or what do we do in the next match? Or what do we do in the next card? Oh, just 50-50. I can't fucking deal with it. It's fucking ADD of professional wrestling.
Yeah. That's why I do these PSA or WSA wrestling saving announcements every day on social media, not on the weekends, business days. You know what I'm saying? 5 times a week, because of situations like this, because people are really tired, like you, a lot of the fans. I mean, I would say a majority of the people I talk to, I used to watch wrestling. When? Oh, back in the Attitude Era, the NWO days. Very rarely you find older guys who like all Jim Crockett promotions like myself, right? But during the WCW days, you had a great storyline, probably the greatest storyline of all time, the NWO. You had the workhorses in the mid card who couldn't be touched. The Regals, the Finleys, the Jerichos, the Malenkos, the Guerreros, the Benoits, the Mysterios. You had the cruiserweights. They had every demographic covered, and every demographic was different. You had the cruiserweight action that looked different than the main event action. Main event action was all punch and kicks. The cruiserweight action was all flippity floppity doodas, and then the mid card was all the athleticism, the mishmash, the technical wrestling. So you got every flavor of ice cream, or every piece of the puzzle in the smorgasbord of fucking buffet that you call wrestling in a matter of 2 hours, or in a matter of a pay-per-view 3 hours. So that's why it was great, in my opinion. Look, I think Randy Orton, John Cena matches are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They're all great. The problem is, if you've seen 50 Randy Orton, John Cena matches, you really don't want to see a 51. because you've seen them 50 times already. And the booking is 50-50 booking. And I agree with you. They need to have enhancement talents. And here's another light bulb for all you fucking wrestlers out there. If you're going to hit false finishes, those falsies you use, win a few matches with them. So if one of your falsies is a fucking, I don't know, DDT, win a match with a DDT. So when you do hit it, it actually seems like you might actually win the match. Not you always get a 2 count on a DDT, because then after the 3rd or 4th time people seeing you do a DDT on and it's a false finish, they know it's a falsie. They won't pop. But if you hit it, oh shit, he won on a DDT. Next time you hit a DDT, oh, he might win. Oh no, it's a fucking, he got me. You know what I mean? Like, people don't think like that. They have to hit their false finish, or they have to hit their finishing maneuver.
Why not use social media as a tool where you're actually, instead of cutting a promo as Greek God Papadon talking about citizens of Lake Slab City, and actually showing clips of what you've accomplished, show your best spots, show you selling, teach them that way by visually seeing it. Because when they're reading it, they're like, well, this guy's cutting a promo. Well, if you videotape yourself cutting a promo, again, I get that. Look at me. I'm the Greek god. Hey, check me out. Sign me. As opposed to me saying, show me in the ring. Show me, put somebody over. Show me how not to leg slap. Show me the best. Show me you in the ring with the fucking guys who are on TV right now saying, I've wrestled them all. Book me, sign me, and I'll fucking do it again at 10 times the pace for half the fucking price.
I don't know about half the price. Listen, when you know what you're worth, you don't do shit for less.
No, of course not.
That's a great idea. And I said I was going to put stuff onto YouTube, whether it's an instruction guide or whatever, or like a tutorial or whatever, or me just in a ring, just talking and maybe showing something to somebody, a hold or something, whatever. The thing is, I'm not very tech savvy, so I can't put the video together. I don't have an intro that I can clip to the video, that I can clip to songs. I don't know any of that shit. So I would have to get a guy to do it. That's why our podcast is just audio, because we have an audio engineer who does it, not a visual engineer. One of the hosts used to visually put it on YouTube. But again, Spiro, he's been so busy with his new job and his baby and this, that, and the other, that he has no time. So we have no presence on YouTube as far as the New Force Order goes. It's more of an audio podcast for now, and I'm fine with that because it's a passion of love. But as far as the wrestling goes, I'm more than down to do it. Look, I just recently said something to AEW, and everyone in AEW are my friends, and I've wrestled with, against. They know who I am. The people in the offices know who I am.
So why don't anybody put you over?
I don't know.
That's the shit right there. So, all right, I'm gonna ask you straight up. Have you asked for the favor? Like, yo, man, just dark match. Can you get me on the card? Let me just show them in person.
I've asked them. I've never asked for a favor. I've sent them matches and promos and said, hey, here's a match. Here's a promo. All I'm looking for is an opportunity to earn my spot. That's all I want. And they would tell me, well, in the beginning, things are booked in advance with COVID, whatever. We don't have any crowds. Since already been booked up a couple months. People are flying themselves down, yada, yada, yada. And I would tell them, look, I got miles. I've been flown all over this country for wrestling. I have tons of miles, and I'll use it if I need to go do it dark, just to get an opportunity to show Tony Khan and the powers that be that, hey, I'll eat the first one. That's not a problem.
Sure.
Nothing. I have people going to back who are agents for me. I have people on the roster who've said if they could, they will help me out if I need them to. I don't want them to put their necks out for me. Maybe it's an ego thing. Maybe it's just something I want to earn on my own, whatever the case may be. But those who are in power that I've reached out to and gave them what I need to give them professionally have seen it. They've seen, I've teamed with them. I've wrestled them. They know who I am. Or I've shared locker rooms with them. So whether or not they want to go to bat with me, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I'm too truthful. Maybe I'm too honest, and I'm not one of these brother guys.
And that could be it too. I mean, I've noticed when cyberspace was dying, I know that the whole thing got ran to the ground because of the politics going on backstage. Because there was the brothers this, and we're gonna dip into Daisy's pocket for the money. We're gonna do this, that, the other thing. But they never gave a fuck about the product. They were thinking about how they're gonna benefit from sucking the whole fucking promotion dry. Maybe because you're not that guy. Maybe because you're not a fucking crook because you're honest. Maybe because you've got too much talent and you want to work on your own fucking laurels and you got too much pride to ask for something, saying, hey, listen, I'm out here. You've seen what I can fucking do. acknowledge it, give me a fucking nod. I don't want to have to go tap you on the shoulder like, hey, remember me. But at the same time, the clock's fucking ticking.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No, I just told you, bro. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 44, and I can still out wrestle people. I still
No,
fucking. But look, and I don't look 44, bro.
you
I'm not
don't.
old. No, I look like I did fucking. Look, you see this?
Mm-hmm.
I have no hair. Why don't I not have hair? Not because I'm balding or have a receding hairline. I have a full head of hair. The same hair I had when I was in cyberspace, I have now. I choose to shave my head for convenience factor and because I'm cheap. I'm very meticulous. You remember every show I had a nice dope fade. $20 I'd have to pay every week to go get a fade. Well, I got fucking 37 kids I got to feed,
Yeah.
bills, a mortgage, everything. So guess what? I'll just shave my head. I don't have to pay a barber. I don't have to freaking tip them $5 for a tip. That money it's saved, guess what? That's going to buy me a carton of milk and a carton of eggs for the kids this week. Or it's going to pay for something regarding, backpack or school food needs or whatever the case, or new shoes or whatever the case may be, or pay a portion of a bill. So, that's me just being who I am. So
Do you think you're more passive though? You think maybe you're not aggressive enough to go over there and say, you know what? Like you said, you've got the miles. Show up to the fucking arena. Like I got my gear in the back.
you know what, dude? I could, but then that's the wrong thing to do because those days are over. Now everything, like you said, is over micromanaged. That if you
Mhm.
just show up, they'll ask you to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of the days where you go and be like, hey man, I got my gear. Do you need me to help you set up? If anything opens up, do you mind tossing it my way? That those days are over.
They don't do
Especially
it anymore.
no, a lot of people don't do it no more. Unless you go to an indie show and you're sitting there because you're a friend of a friend. They're like, hey,
Of course, different
you got
story.
yeah. So you can't just show up at a WWE event or an AEW event or a TNA
Mhm.
event or an Impact event and just say, hey, I got my gear. If you need anything, I'm here. They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? He just shows up. No, it doesn't work that way because of all the protocols and everything that you have to follow. Like you said, it's sports entertainment now.
Well, of course,
So
but even if you were just there visiting friends and you just happen to have your gear, like yeah, I had a show, it got canceled. I came over here to say hi to a couple of guys. Hey, what's up? Did you bring your gear? Of course, I got my fucking gear. I mean,
look, who knows? Is it worth a shot in the dark? Yeah, I've done it in the past where I would show up to a house show or whatever to go say hi to somebody or a friend. Or I'd go drive to Philadelphia to go hang out, party with them all night long, and nothing happened. Did I force it to happen? Like, did I make myself persistent to where I was a nudge? No, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who look. I want to be look. Again, maybe it's artistic integrity, like you
mhm.
said. I take this very serious. Anything I do, whether it's podcasting, whether it's wrestling, whether it's my comic book drawing, whether it's my family, anything, whether it's going to the gym, I take everything very seriously. I always dedicate myself wholeheartedly 100% of the way. So when it comes to professional wrestling, if I can't be the best that I can be and I'm only giving it 10% and I'm trying to throw shit against the wall and just give 10%, I won't do it. So when with that being said, I can't just show up at a show and say, "Hey, I got my gear, whatever, whatever." How about you toss me a bone, please, 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 please? I got some cheeseburgers. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to say, "Hey, we're looking for something different. Here's a guy who speaks Greek. Guess what? The Greeks are the inventors of professional wrestling and wrestling in general. Now, people might say, "Well, pro wrestling started in the carnivals." Well, let's look at reality here.
Mhm.
Wrestling is a hybrid of entertainment, drama, and wrestling. The Greeks invented wrestling. They invented drama. That's why it's called the Greek drama, folks.
Mhm.
And guess what? When they married together and there is a hybrid, you get pro wrestling. So the ingredients that are made up of pro wrestling were both invented by Greeks. Greeks
But do you
invent
think Tony Khan or Bruce Pritchard or Vince McMahon is going to look at you and be like, "Oh shit, I got a great idea. He's Greek." I don't.
well, no,
They're not
no.
going that deep.
Well, maybe not. But if I'm in front of them, I have no problem talking to them. I brought it up to Triple H before in the past, and he
Okay.
shunned me off. And he's like, "Hey, talk to Mark Carano in
Ugh,
talent relations."
might as well
And
talk
I
to a
reached out.
fucking doorknob.
Well, he's not there anymore because he's an
Yeah.
idiot. But when I spoke to him, they fucking shunned me off. I had Johnny Laurinaitis shun me off. I wrestled. It was myself and another guy from Jersey, Rob Vegas. We wrestled the Briscoe brothers in the Briscoe brothers tryout match. And I woke up to John Laurinaitis and I go to him, hey, after the show, I said, Mr. Laurinaitis, can I have 2 minutes of your time? Hey, kid, what's up? I said, did you see the match that I had with the Briscoes? Any advice? Do me a favor, kid. Call me tomorrow. We'll talk. Okay, great. I call him tomorrow at the office in Connecticut. His assistants, he didn't watch the match. So I go, what? He just blew me off? Yeah. All right. Thank you for your time. Click. But that's what you got to deal with. I've heard a million no's. I just need one yes. And I know my confidence, my ability will speak for itself. I do things that no one else does. I don't need to do flippity doo does. I can do one move and get just as big as a reaction. It could be a fucking suplex.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a fucking stare at a crowd, but I'll make it milk it for everything that's worth and make it work to get my opponent over and get the storyline over. I've done it before in the past.
So turn it down a notch. Forget WWE or fuck it. I don't
And
even say
whatever,
TNA. All
sure.
right. Let's talk about an MLW or an ROH. Why not there? You
Why
got to
not?
know Court Bauer. You got to know these other guys.
Listen, I know I've met Court once.
Okay.
I spoke to him once on the phone years ago when he first started MLW, and I was trying to get Havok and I booked. And he was on board about bringing us in, and then he folded. This is when he was on the Sun Network back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He started MLW again. His booker, Saint MSL, one of the guys that he does the podcast with, said I was on the list of talent that he wanted to bring in. Okay, great. When something opens up, we'll let you know. Great, just let me know, man. I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. Nothing. I have people outside telling me that they've dropped my name to this guy, Court Bauer. They dropped my name to Delirious. Delirious knows who I am. I've done dark matches. He loved my dark matches. He says, great stuff. I've done promos, when the ROH tryouts years ago, and Kevin Kelly's like, as soon as I step out of the promo room, he tells everybody, you guys have to fucking work your ass off. This kid just cut a killer promo. I don't think anyone's going to top it tonight. Nothing. Even when Pierce was the booker, hey, I need this fucking match for the opening match. And it was me versus Bobby Fish. We tore it down. We came in the back. I was told, that's the fucking opening match I'm always looking for in my card. Give me a call next week. We're going to do business. Call next week. Sorry, kid. I got nothing for you. What the fuck just happened? Story of my career. Go to WWE plenty of times. Get touted by Jamie Noble. Get touted by all the scouts. Fuck. I wrestled Goldust. Goldust fucking touts me when he was the WWE agent, or with all the fucking with all the extras. Nothing. Touted to the right people. I had William Regal go to bat for me when I was 38 years old, telling me he's going to send me to the Performance Center. I've never been to the Performance Center for a tryout. Never. Always been overlooked.
Where's the fucking heat?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't like to complain about it. I just don't know. I'm just bringing up stuff.
And dude, God bless you, because I would have fucking blown the fuck up. All right. And the thing is, what I admire about you so much is that, yeah, you've got your dream. You know where you want to be. You know where you deserve to be. But you're content where you're at because you're still doing what you fucking love. And I've been there too. I've been at that point saying, listen, as long as I wake up every day and I'm doing exactly what I love, doesn't matter where I'm doing it and how much I'm getting paid to do it. I just love that I'm fucking doing it. But at some point, you got to look over your shoulder and see what everybody else is doing. It's like, these motherfuckers, what do I have to do next?
Yeah, trust me. I've been there.
It's fucking, dude, it's and the reason why I walked away from pro wrestling is because somebody told me, as a matter of fact, no, I would come in and come out and they were like, oh, do the Die Hard character. I'm like, all right, I'll do the Die. Yeah. Can you dig it? Oh, elbows may have to be dropped, all this other shit. So Russo is like, hey, man, I would love for you to do some stuff on my website. I start doing it. He's a big Howard Stern mark.
I know Russo. Russo and I him and I are very good friends. But anyway,
yeah, dude, I've known Russo fucking over 20 years. But I felt like, all right, listen, you know what I'm bringing to the table. I can write, got an idea for the business. I've done things. I want to bring that to you. I felt like I was being treated like a member of the Whack Pack on the Howard Stern show. He had before he had the brand, what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
he had a bunch of just fans just coming in and doing shit. And I was like, dude, I'm not a fucking fan. That's not me. So I walked away and he was like, well, why'd you leave? And I just told him, I was like, dude, I can't fucking give love to something that's not going to love me right back. And I don't feel, I know you're out there, you're busting your ass, but I don't see the fucking wrestling business showing you the fucking love, man.
Well, there's twofold. Let me explain something to you.
I mean, granted, you are a champion everywhere you go.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Let me just say this. One, the day I signed up for wrestling school and Homicide took me under his wing, I signed an oath never to break kayfabe, old school style. Right. I was the last of the dying breed to get a license in New York State when you actually need to be a licensed professional wrestler, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that being said, last of a dying breed again. But here's the deal. I knew when I took my first bump, this business owes me nothing. There's no guarantees. I can love this business till I'm 6 feet under in the ground, give it my all for the rest of my life. Doesn't have to love me back. That I knew signing up, that I know now, that I will know to the day I die. And guess what? That is a relationship that I entered with the stakes being known up front. There's
Mhm.
no guarantees. Number two, you walk away from the table, you'll never get the winning hand. The
Mhm.
winning hand maybe in the first 22 years of my career didn't come to me, but it may come to me my 23rd year. It may come to me my 24th year. It may pay tenfold in dividends. Who knows? But if I gave up my 22nd year or my 18th year, whatever the case may be, I would never get the winning hand. So I will never give up until I get the winning hand.
Dude, and don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to fucking give up. I
Oh, and
love
I
what
know
you
that.
do,
I know
and
that. I know that.
I'm just thinking the approach you've had for 22 years, maybe the approach is wrong. Maybe
Maybe.
you got to be more aggressive. Maybe you got to go tap into these fucking. I mean, dude, you've done so much for so many, and just to sit on the fucking sidelines and watch these fucking guys succeed, watch these guys take a spot that, dude, like I said, 30 seconds of fucking TV time. That's all you fucking need. You just need people to click the channel one time, like, oh, who's this guy? What's he doing? Oh, that's different. Oh, he can talk. He can work. He doesn't do the same shit that the other guys are doing. I'm just like, what the fuck do we have to
Look,
do to put you in these
look,
motherfuckers' faces?
that's the $1 million question. Look, the NWA, maybe that may happen. Who knows? Nick Aldis and I are very good friends. I stayed at his house for 3 weeks when I wrestled in England.
No
I met
shit.
him at I met him at the Harley Race Camp in '07.
Okay.
Him and I hit it off very well, right? Um, him, myself, Steve Anthony, another great wrestler.
Mhm.
Uh, we were the only ones that were chosen by Harley Race to wrestle for Harley Race, in '07 on his shows. Okay. So I don't know. It is what it is. Ring of Honor, I've had opportunities. I've impressed them. Nothing went through. But for every one story I tell you, I can tell you there's other people out there with the same exact stories. Now, whether or not it panned out for them later on, you know what? It may, or they may have walked away, just grizzled, jaded, and upset. I know going into this business, it doesn't owe me anything. So I can't really get upset. Does it bother me? Yeah. Is it frustrating? Yeah. But do I dwell on it? No. Because if I did that, then I become this fucking sourpuss hermit that lives on fucking Octu and don't want to be part of the fucking rebellion, as opposed to being the fucking man who's gonna end up fucking blowing up the Death Star, who's full of piss, vinegar, and optimism. And you
Mhm.
know what? I'd rather be the guy who's blowing up the Death Star than the old curmudgeon on Octu who's jerking off porgs. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so that's my take on it. Look, can I call people up and say, "Hey, asshole, what's going on? Can I please get a shot?" Yeah. Can I reach out to a couple of my buddies that are on TV and say, "Hey, man, can you do me a favor? Can you give me an opportunity?" Yeah. Do I? No, because I know 99 other fucking guys out there have already reached out to them. And what separates me from them is the fact that I'm trying to do this on my own. And hopefully it will happen. And hopefully I will get an opportunity. And when I do get the opportunity, it leads to something great because I know I can offer something different and something great. If everybody, like I said, if everyone's doing 1, 2, 3, I'm coming in with the CeeLo 4, 5, 6, and I'll shine. If everyone's doing 4, 5, 6, then I'm coming in with the triple ones or the triple 6, and I'm still fucking shining. Whatever the case may be, I'm talking CeeLo New York reference for those people who don't know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
So you know what I'm saying, Derek? Look, I
Listen,
don't know. It is
I
what
get
it is.
it. I'm tapping into your head because, dude, I talk to a lot of indie guys, and these indie guys, they're stuck in their own mind. They're like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm getting there. Like, are you? Or are you doing everything that you possibly can? And trust me, I know you're fucking doing what you can. I know what you've accomplished. Dude, the scoreboard don't fucking lie. All right. When you're sitting there with belts going up and down each arm, when you're in every fucking promotion saying, I'm still the heavyweight champion here. I've worked this guy. I've worked that guy. I'm trying to find that fucking missing piece of the puzzle because, bro, believe me, 15 years ago in NWA cyberspace, my main concern and the only reason why I told Billy we got to keep bringing these TNA guys was to keep you guys in the ring with them so that we wanted to be the fucking pharmacist from TNA. We wanted the Solution to get picked up. We wanted the Josh Daniels to get picked up. We wanted the Slick Wagner Browns to get picked up. That's why we put them in the ring with you. That's why we put you over on America's Most Wanted 2 fucking times. I mean, I wasn't there for the first one, but the second one was like, we're doing it again because the last time only 20 people saw it. 300 people going to see it tonight, and 300 people going to fucking talk about it, and nobody's going to fucking expect that to ever fucking happen. I mean, dude, it frustrates me because I'm the first person to go tell somebody to go fuck themselves. That's probably why I burned some bridges. But you know what? Those people know that they're not gonna fuck with me again. And I just want to make sure, bro, that that you've turned over every stone, that you got in their face, and that you just don't come off as the guy saying, well, hey, I'm out here, if anybody's interested. No, that fucking dude, and you've proven it here tonight, that the confidence level's there, that you're fucking bulletproof, that no matter what, nobody's going to knock you off your fucking stride. Nobody's going to knock you off your fucking track. And if it comes, it does come. And you said it perfectly. This business don't owe you shit, but you've given enough to it that you'll always be fucking remembered.
Well, I hope so. And you know what? If I'm not remembered for being a national wrestler, then I want to be remembered for being one of the best who's never made it on TV. There's a lot of guys that are known for being great, but never really made that dent on a national level. Would I be happy with myself if I didn't make it on a national level? Honestly, no. Because guess what? Everyone that I know says I deserve to be on TV on some shape, form, or fashion for some company or in Japan. I would love to go wrestle in New Japan. I would love to go wrestle for Noah, All Japan, any Japanese company, because that's my style. I grew up in the doghouse. We watch nothing but fucking Japanese wrestling 24/7. Now, all my matches like that? No, because I present the match that needs to be presented. If I need to be the chicken shit heel, I'll play the chicken shit heel. Mm-hmm. If I need to be the sarcastic heel, I'll be the sarcastic heel. If I need to be a baby face, I'll be the baby face. Whatever you need me to be, I be. That's who I am. But again, it is what it is. Now, I'll let everybody know out there, whoever listens to this, whether they're in the business or not, GGP, Papadon, myself, I am not just happy to be here. You will never see me being that guy on the card who's just happy to be there and just goes through the motions. I will do everything in my power to outshine everybody, but not go into business for myself doing so, because I'm a professional. And I know how to do it. And I've been doing it for 22 years, to where after 22 years, I'm still relevant. And people still talked about me. And I have people telling me who are on the indies now. I remember seeing you in cyberspace. I remember seeing you in JAP. I remember seeing you in Stars and Stripes, or this one and that one, or ICW in the Elks Lodge. It is what it is. Look, I don't have an answer. That's the $1 million question. But at the end of the day, I'll give you an answer when I get an opportunity, And that's that. When I was going to WWE all the time, it was the land of the giants, right? Everybody at the time needed to be 6'4", 6'4", 6'4", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". I'm fucking 5'10", dude. When my lift's on, I'm close to 6 feet. My boots on, right? I had Jamie Noble, who's 5'7", tell me, sorry, bro, I'm 5'7". I'm telling you, you're not tall enough. You're taller than me. But keep up. Maybe things will change, right? So what happens? When Regal goes to bat for me at 38, he's like, yeah, Corona doesn't want to give you a shot. Or whoever not Carano, the guy who's right triple hands right hand man, the fucking volleyball player. What was his name? Not Cummings. What was his name? Whatever his name is. Anyway, Seaman, Canyon Seaman. Okay. He doesn't want to give you an opportunity. Got to get over on the indies even more, become like an A+ player on the indies, and hopefully you'll get an opportunity. And that changed. Because then they start bringing in, Samoa Joe, fucking this one, that one, who's my age. But these guys were indie darlings. I wasn't an indie darling. I would say I was an A-, B+ guy compared to being an A+ guy. If Samoa Joe and all those guys, CM Punk are A+ guys because they're indie darlings, I would say I'm a level underneath them in fame-wise, not in talent-wise. Because I've wrestled Joe. I've wrestled CM Punk. I've wrestled them all. And each and every one of them loved the matches we've had and put me over left and right. So all I can tell you is what I hear firsthand from them. So
have you been able to figure out how to merchandise yourself? Maybe that's the biggest key. They're like, he's a good wrestler. I don't know how to sell him. I don't know what to do.
What do you want me to do? Sell foam gyros?
No, but I'm just saying. I mean, the Young Bucks went out there. They went to Hot Topic. They got their action figures in the stores. They got their T-shirts out there. I know that it's very difficult to go out there and be like, hey, listen, I'm an indie wrestler, but I want to be on your shelves. Of course, it's fucking almost impossible. But what can you do to show that there's value in your character?
The only thing I can tell you to do that I can do is just do what I'm doing now. Do it differently than everybody else. Try to throw it on social media, on YouTube. Be more of a presence on YouTube. I'm guessing, and continue. I mean, look, this last year, almost year and a half, was a wash because of fucking COVID. Now it's starting from scratch. Now things are starting to open up, and I'll do what I have to do, and I'll get where I need to get. I had a New Japan tryout that I had to pull out of because I got injured. Someone dropped me and fucked up my collarbone.
There's
You
a
know
New
what I'm
Japan
saying?
tryout?
Yeah, and I had to pull out a week before because I got injured. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm so close to the brass ring, but then it gets taken away from me because of situations that shouldn't have happened. Now, would it led to something? Who knows? I won't know until it happens. So, look, I go to Cali. I wrestle for Marquez for the United Wrestling Network. Grand old time. Had great fucking thing. Did great. Got nothing but love from everybody who saw it. Everyone put me over left and right. Okay, great. Then what? Exactly. So then COVID hits. Okay, everything's done. Everything's on the shelf. So it is what it is. Fucking what's the guy's name from WWE that got fired? Muhammad Ali? No, what's Hassan?
No fucking idea.
Muhammad Hassan, right? With
Okay.
Hogan.
Oh, that guy back then. You're
His
right.
first match back.
Mhm.
His first match back wrestling after 18 years up in Immortal Championship Wrestling in upstate New York. Who'd they put him in the ring with? This guy right here, right? I carried him, and I'm not saying that to be
Right,
egotistic.
but he had the rust.
Exactly. He told me, bro, you're gonna have to carry me. Don't worry, I got you, dude. I'll make you look like $1 million. And I did. And the match itself was phenomenal. Put him over. He fucking shined. And guess what? The fucking match on YouTube blew up. 100,000 views, 150,000 views, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know, a few 100,000 views. What about me? This guy blew up. He did whatever he had to do. He didn't come back into the business full time. The guy's a principal, nice guy, sweetheart, in a school. He's established. He has a family. Wait a minute, this guy looks great. And all those who are in the business and no, don't say, wait a minute, the guy who's making him look great. Let's look at him. So it's like a double-edged sword. Do I sit there and go, hey guys, look at me. I made him look like $1 million. What about me? No, because then I look like a little bitch.
Right.
And that's not who I am. I'm a fucking man. If you can't see the talent that's in front of you, then I can't help you. Go get fucking glasses at fucking Pearl or whatever the fucking eyeglass store you need to fucking get and see what the fuck you're missing. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
So if you never make it in the ring, would you be content being a trainer? Would you be content working at the performance center, teaching the guys from Lake Slap City?
Nope.
No.
Just like if I got a job tomorrow being a referee, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can never be a ref. I need all eyes on me on my ham. And that's why I really don't want to be a tag wrestler. If I get the opportunity where I need to be a tag wrestler, that's my only way in the door to get that fucking Scott Ole and fucking get my foot in the door in national. I will. But I'd rather be a singles wrestler because being a singles wrestler, I can control the match. I can control my opponent. I can control the crowd. With the tag wrestling, it's kind of hard because now there's 4 guys in the ring as opposed to 2. So I have to worry about the other 2 guys I can't control. If one of them falls asleep waiting for a hot tag on the corner, he's not being live. He's not being all fucking rambunctious trying to make a hot tag, or he's just being a dick. He's not being a heel and he's bringing down the match. He's not playing to the crowd. So many variable factors that could make the match just shit, and then everybody looks horrible. So I'd rather be in control of my own destiny and be a singles wrestler. But again, if I get the opportunity to go wrestle in Japan and be part of a fucking tag team, then I will.
What's Greek God Papadon looking like now? So I haven't seen it matches in a while. So what's the gimmick like now?
The gimmick is what you see is what you get. It's just embellished. I come out, I tell people the truth that the Greeks invented everything and that they should be thankful and pay homage to me because if it wasn't for me, they'd be living in caves, still rubbing sticks together to invent fire. We invented wrestling. We invented the Olympics. We invented mathematics, advancements in medicine, astronomy, you name it. 90% of the words in this English language comes from Greek words. These are all facts.
Mm-hmm.
I embellish them, obviously, and tell these people that without us, you would have nothing. We give you democracy on a fucking silver platter, and you guys turn it into a republic in this country and fuck it up with your Democrats and Republicans, and the people get upset because it's true.
How are you conveying that character in the ring? Like I'm sure that the kid, the disabled kid that had the
Okay.
sign for the guy, is he understanding the whole Greek mythology
Oh,
shit
he
behind it?
is. He
He is
is.
he getting
He
there?
is.
Okay.
Look, I am. When you see me wrestle, you could say I'm almost like Johnny Valentine, where I take his mantra and say, "You may not believe wrestling is real, but you're going to
Mhm.
believe GGP is real, and everything I do is real. You're not going to question what you see is fucking phony baloney bullshit, because what I do is what I do well. So when you see me in the ring, you could say I'm a cross between Finley, Regal, Malenko, with a slash of Bockwinkel, all intertwined. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To the point where you'll see me be a fucking prick when I need to be a prick and a bully when I need to be a bully. And
Okay.
you'll see me powder back off when I need to back off. You'll see me be a fucking aggressive when I need to be aggressive. And you'll see me be where I need to be for my baby faces to make my baby faces look like $1 million. And at the same time, I'll have the crowd in the palm of my hands the entire time, from the time I come out to the
Mhm.
time the bell rings, whether my arm is raised or I get pinned. They will be at the edge of their seats, hollering and raving because I can control them like that. It's just a gift. I know
So
what they want to see.
I'm gonna share a little fantasy with you. Not fan, don't take that the wrong. But I fall asleep and I think about booking. So every now and then I'll have that itch of like, God damn, if I come into some money, I'm gonna go run a show. Here's the guys I would book. Here's what I would do. But how do I appeal to this crowd? I got to make it sports entertainment. You're always the first guy on the fucking list.
Well, thank you. That means a
And
lot.
I'm always thinking, I'm like, all right, but the Greek god thing, how do we make that more of a Greek god? How do we dig deeper into the Greek story? And then I started fucking around with the idea of Gladiator, Russell Crowe. Here comes the guy with the fucking helmet. He goes into the arena. Before the match, he goes out on one knee and touches the fucking mat, and like it's the dirt there. And then he goes to fucking war because he's a Greek Roman general. He's this fucking guy who's battled it. Tell me. Go ahead. Go. No, no, go ahead. Again, it's just a
I
fantasy.
no, I agree with you, but that kind of works if I was babyface Greek god.
Right. Yeah.
If heel Greek god is
Hmm.
exactly what I'm telling you right now, rubbing your face in facts, but embellishing those facts to make me look that much better.
Right.
Telling all the wrestlers that I'm better than everybody because wrestling's embedded in my DNA, yada,
Mm.
yada, yada, which is all facts, right? Um, and then here's the sports entertainment aspect. And I tried doing this for the UWN pay-per-view. I just couldn't get it all together, right? Picture this. Three chicks come out dressed as Greek goddesses, dropping rose petals on the floor. I
Uh-huh.
walk on the rose petals, right? As I'm walking to the ring on the rose petals, one of them gets on all fours. One of them goes like this. I grab that one's hand, I step on the other one's back, and she is my steps into the ring. The third one holds the rope. I go through the rope. They derobe me. They put some oil on me. They anoint me. They're all bowing in front of me,
Uh-huh.
in front of the hard cam. That's the Greek god. There's your sports
Right.
entertainment. There's your visual. And if you think that's too 80s or too hokey,
No. No.
we could spice it up.
I
I
don't
can
think
get
it's
a
gonna get over with the Me Too movement, but
listen. If the Me Too movement wants to get over, they can go to Subway for sponsorship. They could go make everybody a sandwich. I don't care. Point is that if we can even change it up, I'll get a fucking butchy 6'6" diesel chick, and I can call her my Hercules
Mhm.
or the descendant of Hercules, and she could be my China and be my bodyguard. There's the heat factor. Or even
Mhm.
better yet, there was a kid who was a flippity doodah guy on UWN who was in the right place at the right time. Picked me up at the airport, got a match that night. But it was a good flippity doodah guy. Like he looked like a wrestler, and he
Mhm.
does like acrobatic shit, not just high spots. I said that I can use him as a protege and call him Aries the whole time. And the whole time he could tell me, hey, my name isn't Aries. My name is Jack or whatever his name is, John or whatever. Yeah. Okay, Aries. Just don't fly too close to the sun. You'll burn your wings, shit
No.
like that, and throw shit like that out there verbally. And he'd just be like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And I could just be delusional, there's so many fucking things we can do and make it work to be entertaining.
Then that's what I was gonna say. Entertainment. So I'm thinking Gladiator. You ever use the thumb gimmick to fuck with the fans to get them riled up? And the thumbs up, the thumbs down.
No, because I don't play with the fans. I don't play it because a heel should not go to the fans for their consent.
Okay.
I'll play to the fans the way a heel should do to get heat. I'll beat the shit out of their baby face, their savior, their hero. Then I'll look at them and I'll yell at them. This is your hero. This is who you cheer for. And
That's
then
what I'm talking about. Are you not entertained?
Exactly. But
Yes.
I don't say, "Oh, you're not entertained." I don't steal it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Would be perfect.
I rub the salt in the wound after I cheaply took him down. And as soon as he's down, I'm king of the world. I'm kicking him while he's down. Then he starts coming back. Oh shit. Backpedal like a heel, because that's what a heel does.
So
right?
Let's pull the layers back a little bit. What do you study? Obviously you and I have a very similar mindset into what we watch and what we're influenced by in the business. But when you got to go back for a little more resource, what are you going? What tapes are you watching?
I watch everything, bro. From back in the day, I am a huge proponent and mark of Jim Crockett Promotions, the NWA.
Mm-hmm.
That is my bread and butter.
What years?
Right? From mid 80s to about 89, 90, till when everything started falling apart.
Right.
The Varsity Club, the Road Warriors, the Steiner Brothers, Sting, Surfer Sting, Brad Armstrong, greatest fucking underappreciated wrestler of all time. The Horsemen, but my favorite unit of the Horsemen, Arn, Tully, Flair, Wyndham.
Of course, the only one.
Arn Anderson, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I think he's better than Ric Flair. He may not have the glitz and the glamour, but he's a worker. The brain, Tully and Arn, the greatest tag team of all time.
Absolutely.
They can wrestle the Road Warriors 1 week, make them look like $1 million, then wrestle, the Rock and Roll Express the next week, or the Rockers in WWE, or the Pan Am Connection, or whatever the hell they're chameleons. They're able to adapt and make everybody look good. That's who I love. Like, I love Arn Anderson so much. I love Tully Blanchard so much. I'm a very big mark from Malenko, Benoit, Guerrero, Saturn before he went to fucking haywire, Jericho, especially Finlay, and especially Regal. That style of ruggedness and man and realness and grinding someone while he's fucking down, because that's what you would do in a street fight. That's what you see when you see me as a heel. You'll see me fish hooking people. You see me cross-facing people. You see me fucking talking shit, licking their side of their faces when they're hard. Just doing shit that you would do. And that's what you're supposed to, because you're supposed to get them emotionally attached.
Shit that I want to see on YouTube. This is the shit I want to see in your social media. Like, oh shit, there he goes again.
Well, look, it's very simple. Anyone listening, Greek God Papadon's a YouTube channel. Go subscribe, hit the notification bell. You get to see everything. Maybe I should start posting more matches on YouTube. But the problem is, I post it on YouTube, or I'll post a link to to my channel. Certain people will go like it, whatever, and that's it.
You got to find a way to cut these clips and give it, again, what we discussed before, this new generation, this new culture. It's 60 seconds or less. Give them that 1 minute of you fucking fish hooking them. Give them that 1 minute of you just fucking doing in the camera like, oh shit, I need to see more of this guy. Where do I get it? 60-second doses.
So it's like me in the sack.
I don't even know that.
That's on a good day, 60 seconds. Shit.
Yeah, you need to work out on your pullout game. What you got to do? You need that fucking fadeaway.
Jordan for 3.
No, in the hair. There he goes. Yeah. All right, listen, let's switch it up. I know again. I don't want to make it seem like I'm beating you up on the whole thing, brother. But you are too good of a guy to tell these motherfuckers how you really feel deep down inside. So I want to do it for you because, dude, I have been your advocate from day fucking one. And I will not rest until you get 30 fucking seconds. That's not a lot to ask for. 30 seconds of TV time. Make it 60 because, commercial breaks, you can't do much in 30. Fucking 60 seconds of TV time is all I want, because then I know that there's a fucking Greek god up there that's making all you've done. It's fucking paid off. Let's flip this though.
Okay, flip it.
You're a movie guy. I'm a movie guy. A year and a half.
We should do a podcast together.
I know we've talked about that. I know. And this is your audition. So.
My audition. Fucking guy treats me like the fat girl at the end of the bar with no beer left to get.
Well, hey, fuck it, man. You know, you can't. Beggars can't be choosy. You got to take what you can get. And fat girls give good head. What are you gonna do? So, what have you been watching? A year and a half in the pandemic. I don't want to go to a year and a half, but I mean, what's kept you busy? Let's say the last 30
The last thing I watched was last night. I watched Army of Darkness.
Would you Army of Darkness or Army of the Dead?
Sorry, Army of the Dead. My bad.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Why? Sell me.
I'm not a big zombie guy.
Okay.
I'm not. All right. The greatest zombie movie, in my opinion, is Zombieland and Zombieland 2. I love Zombieland. I'm a big.
Those are the greatest zombie movies of all time?
Well, no. I mean, look, you have Romero's original, right? I understand that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I may have seen it in passing when I was younger, but the ones I love are, because I'm not a big zombie guy. Again,
okay.
Zombieland and Zombieland 2 offer something that most zombie movies don't. Mm-hmm. That is a plethora of variety. You have your laughs, you have your women, you have your zombies, you have Woody Harrelson, you have the fucking nerd guy who wanted to be Lex Luthor but ended up being not Lex Luthor. But regardless, they were great movies.
Yeah.
The only other really zombie movie I really, really enjoyed was Dawn of the Dead, which was
Go fuck yourself right now.
Why?
Take time off and go stick something in your ass and come back when you're done.
Well, if I do that, I'll kill the gerbil. But go on. Why?
Yo, I'm just saying, dude. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be 46 in September. My very earliest memories are being in a movie theater. 3-4 years old. 78 was a huge year for me. 78, I wanted to go see Romero's original Dawn of the Dead in theaters.
Okay.
That movie is a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, it is. I'm not saying it's not.
There are certain films that should never be remade. That's a holy grail. That's a cardinal fucking sin. You go and remake that movie. And the way he did it, Zack Snyder can go fuck himself.
I disagree, bro, because I look, again, I'm not a proponent of the original because I don't recall the original. This was my first entry point into zombie movies. That was like the first real zombie movie I've seen. Mm-hmm. I liked it because it was different. It was a fresh take. It was something new. And it had Ving Rhames in it, who's a good actor. And it was cool. Okay. Now, this one I liked with Batista. I thought it was really cool. You know what I'm saying? I liked the idea of the fucking zombie with the helmet. That was pretty badass.
That was smart.
You know, the queen zombie, the coyote chick with the blonde hair was hot. She was nice to look at. You know what I'm saying? The guy who looked like
movies for the wrong fucking reason.
No, but I'm just look. I'm not a big zombie guy, so I like the movie. I like the movie. Okay. Before that, I watched. What did I watch? I watched Jupiter's Legacy, which
Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley.
No. Jupiter's Legacy was the Mark Miller comic book series brought to life.
Okay.
It was done very well. I liked it.
Okay.
I watched Invincible, which was another comic book movie from Mark Miller, but it was a cartoon.
Kirkland?
Yeah. Was it Rob? No, it's Mark Miller.
No, it's Kirkland. Invincible.
Is it Kirkland?
The guy who did Walking Dead. He's
okay. Yeah. Okay. Him. Sorry.
Which I saw clips. I was blown away.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Obviously, the Bad Batch I'm watching now. Great. Mandalorian.
Right.
Second, fantastic. Probably one of the best. Some of the best TV I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai, best TV show ever written.
Reason
because it's such a great blend of new school and homage to the old school without burying the old school. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it. They're intertwining it perfectly. What other movies have I seen recently? I saw a movie with Idris Elba where he was a cowboy in Philadelphia on Netflix, which was wasn't that great?
And that's the thing. Recently, I mean, I got excited when not excited the pandemic happened, but when Warner Brothers announced that they were going to release a 2020 slate on HBO Max. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is great because just bought a new house, got a 75-inch TV on the thing, surround sound. I'm like, fuck, I got a theater right here. Watching these movies, and I'm going to run down that list. Mortal Kombat, watched it last night.
Heard it sucked.
Not terrible. I was surprised. Maybe based on all the other shit that I've seen. I'm a huge Denzel Washington mark. Okay, I'll pay to watch that motherfucker read the phone book. Okay,
that was a good movie, but
it
wasn't
things,
great. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
mean,
think I think I think it got edited a little too much. I think there's more meat to the bone that they probably holding back.
so apparently that script was floating around Hollywood for about 10 years and they couldn't get
Okay.
it made. Now you get three Oscar winners. You get Jared Leto, you get Sammy, what's his name, Rami Malek, and Denzel Washington, and that's the shit that you put out. I don't know, dude. I was left underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed as well, but
Yeah.
that's why I said it was good, not great. I mean, it wasn't
Um.
bad by any means. Like Wonder Woman 84 was bad.
Oh,
That was the shits.
and ironically, here's a weird thing. For some reason, I enjoyed that one better than the first Wonder Woman.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's one scene that I love that scene in what is it, No Man's Land, where she's climbing up the ladder and she's just fucking wiping them all out, clearing the way. Other than that, that movie was fucking overrated. Wonder Woman and Black Panther, both mediocre movies at best. And don't get me wrong, I fucking loved what Michael B. Jordan did with the Killmonger. I love that fucking character, what he said at the end. You make sure you just put my body in the sea there so I could be with my ancestors who jumped off the ships. I mean, dude, that hit me in the heart. I was like, wow, that's fucking writing. But overall, the first Wonder Woman, Black Panther, was a fucking social justice, just like, oh, we gotta, I want to see myself on the screen and women power and black power and this power and that power. I'm like, yo, let's not forget that we've had other females as leads. Let's not forget Sarah Connor in The Terminator. Let's not forget Wesley Snipes' Blade. Let's not forget that we've had other action stars. Don't make this thing big because it's a fucking superhero movie, dude. I mean, I think they blew it out of proportion.
I could see your point of view. I don't agree with you. I think Wonder
Mm.
Woman, the first one was good. I think it lost itself in the third act.
They always do in
Uh,
DC.
with Ares, I think they
Mhm.
casted the wrong guy as Ares, but whatever. I think Black Panther, not the greatest Marvel movie, definitely a great movie, but not. But it was your typical standard, uh, almost like having the same type of wrestling match in every match type of movie. You have your movie and you have your typical storyline. The bad guy dies at the end, just like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was your typical movie,
Yeah.
superhero movie. Nothing special, good movie. Nothing that makes you go, "Fuck, that was great." Like for me, I liked Ant-Man because
Okay.
it was more of a comedy.
Mhm.
It is a heist film, but it's Ant-Man. Like who gives a fuck about Ant-Man? But they made you give a shit about the character, in those two films, and they did a good job. It was different. They made chicken salad out of chicken shit with that character,
Mm.
in my opinion. I would rather see, to be honest with you, with all these movies coming out, I would love to see an old school 1960s TV series, miniseries of Kirk Douglas as the original Ant-Man, Michelle Pfeiffer, the original Wasp, Lawrence Fishburne as the original Goliath on a mission against Germans, Nazis, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something like that in the early days of Shield. I think that'd be cool. Just
You
like
want to see like an Irishman version where we de-ageify them? What the fuck they
yeah,
call?
why not? Why
Yeah.
not? And then I would like to also see from Solo, right? One of my favorite Star Wars movies, Solo, where we had Wesley Snipes, not Wesley Snipes. Um,
Donald Glover.
no, 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 Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's
Oh,
crew, right?
okay.
His crew before they met up with
How the fuck
Solo.
did you mix up Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes?
White
One's
man can't
white, the other
jump.
one's purple.
White man can't jump. That's why.
Okay.
So, what do you call it? Have like a little mini series about their crew before they met up in Solo
Uh-huh.
on some adventures. I like those characters. I
You
think
want to
there's a
see him
lot.
fucking robots is what you want to see. You
I
want to
don't
see
see.
him give it to that bitch in the circus.
No. See, in my canon,
Uh-huh.
Lando's not pansexual. He's a ladies' man. For
Oh,
40 years,
okay.
he's been a ladies' man. That SJW nonsense about making him pansexual is
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah, they need to put Demi Lovato in there and she could throw labels on
Fuck
everybody.
Demi Lovato. She's a retard. No offense to retards. That's a retard. I'm sorry. I apologize. Take that back. I just offended the whole, community of people who are,
Yo, there's certain words you can't take away from me. In this coddle culture, you can't take away midget, you can't take away retard. I use those on a daily basis.
I'm sorry. She's an attention-seeking idiot. Okay, you think because she comes out saying my pronouns are they and them and this. I don't care if your pronouns are fucking he, she, they, them. Who cares? Just because you declared that on social media, everyone got to bow you the altar of Demi Lovato.
Who the
And
fuck
it's
made her the ambassador?
exactly. And on top of that, today she goes, "I'm 1% African." She's dressing all African and all this
Oh,
shit.
shut
It's
the
like, shut the fuck up. Stop pandering. Stop doing that. You're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me, look what I can do. Like Stewie from Mad TV. Look what I can do. Look at me. Wee.
Dude, it's fucking hysterical. One of the best memes I've ever seen online was what was a like it was like a barbecue joint, and they put on the outside. It was like, oh, it's hotter in here than a spoon at Demi Lovato's house. So I fucking pop for that.
Pop. That's awesome.
Yo, speaking of Michael B. Jordan, did you catch Without Remorse?
Without Remorse.
The Tom Clancy movie that he did for, I want to say it was Amazon Prime.
No.
Solid flick, man. He can make a franchise out of this. Good stuff there. Now, what pissed me off with this dude, though, he's directing the third Creed movie, and there's no Stallone in it.
Yeah, Stallone don't want to be in it, which kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't know if I can sit through a Creed movie without Sly.
I don't know. We'll see. I thought Creed 2 was good, predictable.
Yeah, but they
good.
had to do it. They had to.
They had to. They made chicken salad out of chicken shit. But if they did, if they did Creed 3 with like fucking Clubber Lang's kid, then you're going to the wall one too many times.
There's no connection there. Well, dude, in Creed 2, the scene that hit me in the heart the most is when Drago goes to see Rocky inside the fucking in the diner, and he's looking at all the fucking photos in the wall, and I'm like, oh my god, because they haven't seen each other face to face in over 30 years, and he's looking at just the guy that took away everything from him, and they had this conversation not as boxers but as two men who've lost it all. Oh my god, what a fucking scene!
Yeah, I agree. I totally 100% agree with you. There's certain scenes in certain movies that stand out. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Another one that stands out for me. I mentioned it the other night on a podcast. I don't know if it was the NFL, but True Romance.
Oh man,
the scene where they find Christian Slater's dad, who's played by
Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken.
Yes, yeah. That scene is so fucking powerful. The lighting, the mood, the ambiance, not just the dialect. I mean, it's funny, whatever. It's very racist, whatever. But it's acting at its like you lose yourself in that scene. Shit like that. Like James Gandolfini was awesome in that movie. There's certain scenes in certain movies like that just will stand the test of time.
Dude, when you talk about that scene, and granted, the dialogue is on par. It's Tarantino's first screenplay. But when you're watching Dennis Hopper, I mean, trust me, Christopher Walken just chews the scene up. But Dennis Hopper, as a man protecting his son, knowing he's going to die, he takes the Chesterfield. He's like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to fucking insult you on the way out.
Yeah.
And you just know, put the bullet in me, but you're not getting my son.
And it's the little nuances with the cigarette and the way he moves and all these little things like just make it so fucking dope. And to me, even in wrestling, but with acting as well, the attention is always in the little details. That's what separates everything. Whether it's a coconut to the side of Jimmy Snuka's head, or it's the scene with Dennis Hopper. It's just little tiny nuances and details that come into play. It just gets you. You know what I'm saying? It just gets you.
What's one movie without question, all the time, hands down, never fails, that makes you cry?
Oof, there's a couple. The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
All right, interesting choice. Okay,
because he's a guy who's a gym teacher who had I don't know, 50 years old or whatever he is, throws 110-mile-an-hour fastball and makes it to the pros finally. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a particular scene in that movie that just busts the pipes open for you?
It's when he makes it.
When he makes it, okay.
And he steps onto the field for the first time as a pro.
All right.
It's just like all that hard work, all that dedication, your entire livelihood comes down to that one scene. You step onto the field, and all that hard work just pays off because you're at the dance. And I can relate because if it ever happens to me, emotionally, that's how I would be inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and now granted, what we do is a work, but at the same time, getting touted by the powers that be in said company and making you the face that runs the place or the face of the company, or puts you in the top spot where people turn on to see you. It's a great honor because they're giving everything. They're giving you the ball. They're giving you the confidence to run with it. They believe in you. And just that belief factor itself means so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's definitely one. What's one that I always cry? Anything that when it comes to family, as far as kids and.
Yeah, dude, the older that I get, the fucking weaker my heart gets. Anything that deals with a father and their children.
Yes.
Dude, I fucking lose.
Oh, you're going to laugh, but Revenge of the Sith.
Wait, which part?
Where he's like, "You're my brother, Anakin. I
That one
loved
makes you.
you."
But all right, but do you get the
Oh,
waterworks or do you like fucking ball up on that one?
I get choked up, man. I get
Choke,
choked
yeah.
up. That and when spoiler alert for people who didn't watch it, but Force Awakens when Kylo Ren slays Han Solo.
Yeah, you mentioned that on your podcast. I don't.
When Han Solo grabs and touches his face like a father would, like it just hits me in the feel. Maybe because I can see my son killing me. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You see, and that's it. To me, it kind of ruined the movie, and it's one of those get the fuck out of here with this shit. I understand. I mean, if anything, I was crying because we're losing Han Solo, and then, like we mentioned on your podcast, let's give it a shout out again. That's the new Force Order.
That's right. The NFL,
Force
New
Order.
Force Order.
Okay, and then we'll definitely give the plugs on that later on, where they can sign up to catch that. But yeah, man, if I was gonna cry over that scene, it's because I know that shit. You just killed Han Solo. We're not gonna get the
Yeah,
band back together again. So I'm like,
yeah, I agree.
so
I agree.
it's frustrating. One movie that fucking makes me lose it every time without fail because there's not a single wasted frame in that movie is The Green Mile, dude. When they put Michael Clark Duncan, they have to execute after everything that he's done, after all the miracles he performed. They know he's a Jesus character, but now they're the Judas. They got to take him to the crucifixion, and they're sitting there losing it, dude. I fuck every goddamn time. It's without fail, man. And there's another movie that is a small masterpiece that people do not talk about for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't know if you ever seen Joe Carnahan's The Gray with Liam Neeson.
The Gray. No, I've heard of it, but I never watched it.
Bro, do yourself a favor. That is a movie where you know nothing about these characters until they're about to meet their demise. Here's a
Okay.
bunch of strangers who are forced to work together, and they work this weird, really weird, shitty job in Alaska, wherever the fuck the case is, because they can't find work anywhere else, because maybe they have a mental problem, maybe they've got, they burn bridges, maybe they're a felon. But you don't know these things until they're about to lose their life. And dude, that movie hits you in the fucking feels, especially the end when Liam Neeson is the last one there, and he's got to fight these fucking wolves with little bottles on his hand. And I know some people can get mad with that end. They're like, yo, what the fuck? But that's what makes it a classic.
I gotta check it out.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but please check that movie out when you get a chance. There's times where I ride a wave. I don't know if you do that, where like you get connected to a certain actor. You're like, yo, I want to see more of his shit. And lately, I've been on riding a Frank Grillo wave, dude. That's a man's man right there.
Frank
And
Grillo. Why does that name ring a bell?
holy shit, dude! You want to do a fucking movie podcast? Are you serious?
Listen, you got to realize one thing: 22 years of being in the ring. I'm not gonna remember everybody's fucking name. Tell me what role he plays, and I go, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy."
He's Crossbones or whatever the fuck his name is. What do you call it? All right, Italian guy with great fucking hair, man. Awesome dude. But I'm not a big MMA fan. And somebody said, "Oh, you got to watch the show Kingdom. It's about boxing." I was like, "Oh, I love boxing. I'm a fucking dude. Rocky and Star Wars is religion in my house." So I go check it out. I'm like, "Oh, this is MMA." And I see Grillo pop up. I'm like, "All right, if Grillo's in it, I'm gonna check it out."
What's it called?
It's called Kingdom. 3
Kingdom.
seasons.
Dude, oh, it's
Dude,
on Netflix.
it was actually AT&T and DirecTV, and it was just on Netflix. They just pulled it. I want to say April 30th. I don't know where to find it now, dude. But dude, only 3 seasons, and there's times I don't like watching a lot of TV because I get invested, like The Walking Dead. Some of the best writing I've ever fucking seen. But after season 7, 8, maybe, it's like, yo, kill the show next. Bite the fucking show. I can't do this anymore. Or you get a fucking show that you get so invested in, and the network decides to cancel it. Now I have no closure.
Yeah.
This show was only three seasons. It could have went more, but the way they fucking ended it, and every episode, dude, it hooks into you. Fucking genius, man. And
You
like I
know,
said,
it was a good show like that. I used to watch it, but I fell off not watching it. This Is Us.
I heard that's great, man. I'm a sucker. I'll sit with my wife and watch shit like that.
That's what exactly. I was sitting with my wife. We started watching the first season, and then our 37 kids came into play, and they fucking.
You say 37, dude.
So they came into play, and we fell off, and we stopped watching it. Oh, here's a good show that you would love.
Okay,
you will appreciate this because you're a father and you're a hard worker. Kim's Convenience.
You mentioned this to me before, and I didn't write it down. I'm gonna write that shit down now.
It's on Netflix. They just finished season 5. The guy who's the main actor, I forgot his name, Paul Sung-yi, I think his name is.
Okay.
He's the Asian X-Wing pilot from The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Remember him and Dave Filoni? They were together, and then he gave Cara Dune the badge.
Yep. I
He's the
remember.
lead, he's the lead actor.
Okay. Kim's gonna
So
be, and you said it's 5 seasons?
they just finished season 5 now. There's 4 on, but they're half-hour episodes, so they go
Okay.
quickly.
Yeah, I could burn through that then. That's not a
Oh,
problem.
it is hilarious, bro.
Have you watched Barry on HBO?
Barry?
Yeah, with Bill Hader.
No.
He's a former military guy who goes into the line of work of being a hitman. And
Nice.
after doing it, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So he gets a passion for acting. And the thing is, he can't get out of being a hitman. So he's got this love for acting and being a hitman, but they keep fucking up his passion for acting because he keep pulling him into jobs, and then the people close to him that he's acting with are getting killed, and then he's got to protect it. Dude, it's some of the best fucking TV I've ever seen.
Barry, I'll check it out.
Definitely check that one out, man. But I was talking about Frank Grillo, man. I don't know. Have you seen Boss Level?
Boss level, no.
Yeah, man. It's a Hulu.
There's so much shit out there, bro.
Dude, there's too many streaming services. How the fuck can I keep up?
I can't. And look, do you realize? I mean, last year I was in LA for my shoot job, and we were at a talent agency, APA, I think it's called,
Okay.
and they represent a lot of the big stars and all that stuff. 50 Cent's one of their clients. He actually comes into the boardroom and introduces himself to all of us. I got to meet him. Nice dude. They were telling us that Netflix were doing 1,000 pieces of original content for the 2021 season. 1,000. That's it. Movies and shows. 1,000. You know how much television, how much Scott all that is?
Dude, that's crazy. They're dropping something new every week. Give me your take on this, because I know right now they've already started production on The Flash. So Andy Muschietti, who directed the 2 It movies, Stephen King It movies, he's directing The Flash. And I think they're doing like the Flashpoint storyline. I don't follow comic books, so to me it doesn't mean much, but I get the cheat sheets like, oh, okay, that sounds like a fucking great story. But if this is true, if this rumor is true, and after the Flashpoint comes out, because obviously they've already invested money in that, it's supposed to reboot the DCEU. What if they just shit canned everybody? Disney's like, yo, you're fucking out of here. We're gonna reboot this whole thing the way we did Marvel. What would you think?
They could, but I think the problem is too many people want this the Snyderverse right now because of Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. He might as well be walking on water right now because he made that movie watchable. Yeah. He made it great, bro. In a matter of 4 hours, he gave you something to care about. You care about the characters. He gave you Darkseid. He made Steppenwolf viable before he was just a piece of shit C-level boss that no one cared about.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the theatrical cut of Justice League, whoever it was, Joss Whedon that put that one out?
Yeah, it was an abortion. It wasn't bad, but it was just an abortion. Yeah.
But just plucking the peanuts and the corn out of the shit is still a piece of shit, Justice League. No, man.
I disagree. I thought the Justice League Snyder's cut was on par with Marvel.
I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. I just can't bring myself.
It's 4 hours.
You know what's fucking me? It's not even the 4 hours. It's the aspect ratio. I don't know if I just want to watch a square box on my widescreen TV for 4 hours. So I'm like, I don't know. But
I like Zack Snyder. I like the way he directs certain films. Like I loved 300.
Yeah.
I loved what was that? Sin City.
He didn't do Sin City. That was Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Robert Rodriguez. You're right.
He did Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch was all right. Visually, it was great.
Yeah.
Storyline, but 300 I thought was great. I thought the storyline for Batman vs Superman, the extended cut, was a lot better than the theatrical version. Okay. But still, it wasn't as great as it should have been. But visually, this guy should be doing Batman because he gets Batman perfect. And in my opinion, Ben Affleck, greatest Batman of all time. Wow. Second by an eyelash is Michael Keaton.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. So here's the thing,
and they're both in the Flash movie, by the way.
In the Flashpoint, yeah, which I guess they're gonna do like their own multiverse of madness kind of deal there. But I I don't want to say I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder. I know Zack Snyder, first of all, a very talented guy.
Yes.
I'm not crazy about his decisions. I'm not gonna say his movies are massive piece of shit, with the exception of Dawn of the Dead for personal reasons. But I think his Man of Steel was fucking brilliant. One
Eh.
of the greatest comic book movies ever made. Now, here's the thing. Let me just sell you on a movie from a director I don't even fucking like. Okay, first of
All
all,
right.
you never got to see Krypton fall anywhere. You saw it for maybe 3 minutes with Marlon Brando, and then but I got to see what Krypton looked like. The Battle of fucking Krypton. General Zod, which just wasn't some fucking bad guy looking for revenge. General Zod is a conflicted character. He's a military man trying to find a way to save the planet, even if it means destroying another planet. He's trying to save his people. Third of all, nobody sucked Superman's dick that entire movie. They never called him Superman. They treated him like a fuck. They were like, yo, you're an alien. You can fly. You got shit coming out your eyes. You go like you're from outer space. You're a fucking alien. They treated him that way as if he were a fucking like if he was a UFO threat. I mean, there's certain things that they did in that fucking movie. And the greatest scenes in that movie that fucking tear me up is that he takes a Terrence Malick approach, not only in his visual style, but what he did with Clark and the Kevin Costner character, showing him grow up, knowing that he has these powers. It's like, you can't show this in front of the kids. They'll never understand the secrets between us. You can't show them who you really are right now. And he's growing up with that confusion. That movie's fucking brilliant. And when they spin that off into Batman and Superman, the very first half, where you're seeing the impact of that fight, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, the casualties and they're killing people, but the fact that you see Bruce Wayne's company in shambles, that there were casualties of war there, that just innocent people fucking dying. He's like, this fucking alien came from space and murdered all these innocent people. Dude, brilliance. I don't know what happened to the second half of the movie, but dude, you put those two together, holy shit.
I agree. I agree. The fact that you get to see a portion of the movie from a different point of view from Bruce Wayne in the beginning of
Mhm.
Batman vs Superman. The thing I didn't like about Man of Steel is this: Superman's a Boy Scout, and in order for him to work versus Batman, you need the yin and the yang. You need the
Mhm.
grittiness and the darkness of Batman, and you need the Boy Scout and the Captain America likeness that they
Mhm.
hit spot on with Marvel of Superman. That's why I think Christopher Reeve as Superman is amazing. Um, the fact that it was a little dark in tone visually kind of dimmed things down. That wasn't that much of a bad thing. The fact he could have saved his father like that and didn't save him was stupid. The fact he killed,
Oh,
yes,
that's the tear-jerking moment
it
where the
wasn't. It
father,
was
where he's
stupid.
gonna save him, and the father's like, no, these people can't see this now. I have to take this fucking bullet.
No, I think I was stupid. The second thing is him killing Zod.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to kill Zod. All he had to do was put his hand over his eyes. He wouldn't be able to kill the people. Superman doesn't kill.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. I know why they did it. They did it so he can realize, fuck my mistake. I will never kill again,
Of
and
course.
build off that. And you need a foundation
Right.
for that Boy Scoutness, but they never built on it.
Listen, tomorrow morning you walk out your house and you see a dude flying in the fucking air and landing in there and standing like this. You're gonna go over there like, oh my god, you're fucking awesome, you're a superhero, or you're gonna run for your
No,
fucking life.
I wouldn't run for my life, but I wouldn't be fucking marking out to him either. So I see your point of view. He took a very realistic approach, but again, Superman needs to be the clean cut Boy Scout because you need the opposite yin and yang effect with
Mhm.
Batman and with the villains. If Superman's killing people, there's an issue. He shouldn't have killed Zod. There's a way they could have done, they could have booked it differently. Like I said, cover his eyes, do something else, grab him, fucking fly into fucking space, whatever.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All I'm saying is that just that one thing at the end, all that build up and all that cool stuff prior, which was the entire film, just gets diminished because the only thing I remember is the last thing I see, and that's Superman killing somebody. And you're like, oh, come on, man. Superman doesn't fucking kill. You need him to have that fucking clean cut, fucking Boy Scout fucking appeal. So that's just me.
which I
Now,
agree with, but he wasn't Superman yet.
yes, but they didn't build on it otherwise in Batman vs Superman or Justice League. They
Mm.
killed him off too quick. And when he came back, he started being the man he should be, and Batman was the man he should have been because of his mistake doubting Superman.
Mhm.
I mean, look, even BVS, They try to fit 30 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag. The same mistake they did with the Ben Affleck Daredevil. 30 years in a 2-hour movie. You can't fit all that lore in
Right.
2 hours. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think the Zack Snyder Justice League works in a 4-hour clip, because you're introducing 6 heroes, 7 heroes, and you are telling their backstory, and you have to get them emotionally vested with the audience. And in
Mm-hmm.
order to do that, you need time,
Yeah.
because they didn't take the approach. They hot shot it. They didn't take
Yeah.
the approach like Marvel did.
They
That's why it didn't work.
they reverse engineered it. So by the time an Aquaman movie came, which I think was a massive pile of shit, and I love Jason Momoa, and I love Yaya. Yaya is a fucking incredible actor. He's gonna be awesome in that
Who the
Candyman
fuck's
movie.
Yaya?
The fucking Black Manta guy. Yaya. He was in the
That's his
Get
name,
Down.
Yaya.
Yaya Abdul Mateen, some shit like that.
All right. You know what Yaya means in Greek? It means grandmother.
Oh well, there you go. Maybe he's half Greek.
So
Fuck, I know.
maybe south side of Athens.
But I'm just saying, like, you're right. You introduced them in Justice League. You got 7 fucking guys there. I'm like, I know nothing about you. I don't know why you came together, because some dude has a fucking flash drive and said, oh, they're special. No, nothing. But then you reverse engineer and say, oh, now you're gonna get your solo movies, and we'll explain why you're there. They fucked it up.
I'm
Marvel's doing
telling
it,
you.
man.
Watch the Zack Snyder 4-hour cut is an entirely different film. It is leaps and bounds better, but also different
Okay. All right.
than the theatrical.
I will check that out. I'm not sure about the Clone Wars cartoons, but I will definitely
Oh,
check out the
bro,
fucking
stop.
Snyderverse.
Clone Wars cartoon is money,
That's a fucking big investment, man. That's a lot of time you
but
ask.
it's Star Wars, bro. It's worth it.
I know, but it's also a cartoon. I mean,
But
this
but it doesn't matter the medium. It's the story. The stories that are presented in these half-hour cartoons are phenomenal.
all right.
Phenomenal. And they're done by George Lucas. It's not done by Disney.
And I hate the prequels.
But this adds a lot of weight to the prequels, where you learn to love the prequels.
All right. I'm gonna give a couple episodes a try, and I will get back to you on that.
All right.
Shang-Chi and the Eternals, they just both dropped trailers recently. What did you think?
I like the Shang-Chi. The guy who plays Shang-Chi is also in Kim's Convenience.
Oh, he is?
He's the son of Kim,
Okay.
the father. But the Eternals, I saw the trailer today. It looked whack. It looked like Inhumans whack.
Yeah, dude, it looks kind of rough. I mean, when they came out with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, I never heard of these fucking guys. I'm not a comic dude, so to me it means nothing. But I love the Guardians. I don't think they can catch lightning in a bottle again with these with what the fuck they call them again, the Eternals. Yeah,
The
it's not
Eternals.
gonna work for me.
I don't know. I have no idea. Look, I trust in Feige, because Feige's
Of course.
he's a fan first.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they play it. I mean, look, a lot of people are giving backlash to WandaVision. I liked WandaVision. It
Loved
was
it.
slow,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew it was going to be slow.
Right.
A lot of people were giving backlash to Falcon and Winter Soldier. I
Loved
liked
it too.
Falcon. I loved it too. They were like, why do they got to talk about race? We're trying to escape all the tower times now. It's very SJW-ish. I disagree. I
Mhm.
think it was something that needed to be talked about. And it
Oh,
was done. It was done in a way where it wasn't forced in your face. It was done organically.
right.
So here's the deal. Marvel a few years ago went all woke, replaced all their characters with different characters. A Korean Hulk, Sam Wilson as Captain America, a woman this, Muslim Miss Marvel, this, that, and the other. They changed everything around.
I'm still waiting for a Puerto Rican. Who the fuck? Where is he?
I don't know. He's some Uber driver somewhere. I don't know what he would tell you. Maybe he was the luchador. I don't know.
I got
Maybe-
Michael Pena and Ant-Man. That's about it.
dude, he was great.
Yo, yeah.
They should do a cut where he summarizes the entire Marvel timeline as Michael Pena from Ant-Man.
Take
You know
my
what I mean?
money now. Absolutely.
And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so they all went woke, and then
Mhm.
Marvel lost a ton of money with their comics because people got pissed. They were changing all their established characters, just like Lando. You want look for Star Wars. You want to have inclusivity. You want to bring characters into the limelight to appeal to certain small demographic bubbles, whether it's trans, LGBTQ, non-binary, whatever. Great, that's cool. Make new characters. They made up two twins in Star Wars now called Tennant and Senate. They're two non-binary white powder looking fuckers who are Jedis.
Okay.
But I didn't mind that. It's cool because they're new characters. You
Sure.
can build
Yeah.
off that. But taking somebody like Lando, who's been a ladies' man, a Colt 45, fucking Mandingo dick swinging ladies' man for the last 40 years, the smoothest fucking character in Star Wars history, and then getting Childish Gambino to add to the legacy and incorporate and add to that character, and then having the writer saying, because it wasn't clear in the film until the fucking writer, Kasdan's son, said, "Oh yeah, Lando's pansexual." Oh, why? It wasn't needed. Just because people out there are going to get up in arms if he's not. Well, tough shit. Make a pansexual character.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I always believed ever since my introduction to Lando and Cloud City that he was fucking everybody. It don't matter what it was, how many vaginas they had, how many tits they had. He was fucking everything.
Yeah, but female.
Robots?
Pansexual means male, female, dog, fucking.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, he's a little wild out there throwing his dick into everything. I don't know. I mean, like when I saw Lando in The Rise of Skywalker, dude should have been suffering like from wild STDs, like all fucked up and herpes and blisters and shit like that. But again, not realistic. So 2020 got put in the back burner. I'm a big movie guy. You're a big movie guy. Took the experience of movies away from us. What are some of the movies that got kicked back a year that are about to be released theatrically that you're looking forward to?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Okay.
What else? I liked Kong versus Godzilla.
Couldn't
The
see
movie, the storyline sucked.
it. Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. The storyline was a shit.
I love Skull Island. This
Skull
one,
Island's my favorite. Out
Okay.
of all the monster movies, Skull Island's my favorite. The storyline, everything was great. That's why I was Team Kong. I was a little pissed off he kind
all
of
the time. Yeah.
But the Kong versus Godzilla movie was fun. It was fun to watch. The storyline sucked, but it was fun. You know what I mean? And it was something that was needed to watch to break the monotony of fucking watching Netflix series left and right and all this other shit. So that was fun. What other movies that are supposed to come out? I was looking forward to Wonder Woman 84 till I saw it, and I wanted the money I didn't pay back. I wanted my time back. That movie was the shits.
What about Fast 9? That's dropping in a couple of weeks.
What is it?
Fast 9, the Fast and Furious movies. You into those?
I love them, but it's coming out on streaming or in the theater.
No, they're going straight to theaters.
Oh, then I'll probably go watch it. But I never seen a Fast and Furious movie in the theater. I've always watched it afterwards, either on cable or DVD or whatever.
See, it fucks me. Like Hobbs and Shaw is a flaming piece of shit. I can't stand that fucking movie.
I love that movie.
Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so here's the deal. I've been watching Fast and Furious since 2001, since it first dropped, and I'm like, all right, I buy it. It's, the racing culture, the cars, and all this shit. I get it. I'm not a car guy. I'm not a grease monkey, but I dig the movie. These motherfuckers were pulling heists. They were robbing trucks and stealing DVD players. Now they're fucking James Bond. Now they're going to space in this new one. I'm like, yo, enough. The fucking Rock in Hobbs and Shaw jumped out of a building, beat people up all the way down. It was about the fucking height of the Empire State Building. His chest didn't cave in. Heart didn't stop. He had fucking time to think of his moves to the rock bottom, people's elbow, whatever the fuck he did. Dude, there's certain shit. He's fucking holding a helicopter with a chain. Give me a fucking break already.
Listen, that's why these movies, all these Fast and Furious movies, they don't make sense. They're a high spot after high spot after high spot. It's just fun. It's just like Godzilla versus Kong. It's the movie. It doesn't make any sense. Storyline is weak, but it's fun. And the reason you go is to go see the explosions and the racing and the titties and the bikini. And the reason why I liked Hobbs and Shaw was the chemistry between The Rock and fucking what's his name?
Yeah, of course.
That was money. That was like it was like the Odd Couple on steroids. It was dope. You know what I mean?
This is where Dwayne Johnson goes to Hollywood. You didn't need Ryan Reynolds. You didn't need Kevin Hart. Half that fucking movie is just, a tribute to Samoa. It's just like, yo, dude, just like tone it the fuck down. Dude sold out to the industry. Like, love The Rock. Love
he
his
didn't
movie.
sell out. He bought in.
Yeah, you can't. When you're the highest paid guy in the fucking business.
20-30 million a film. I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
He didn't sell out. He bought in, but fuck
exactly. Look, man, I liked it. Again, I wasn't expecting a freaking masterpiece or Citizen Kane with any of these movies, but they're fun. All it is popcorn films. You know what I mean? Like The Irishman. The Irishman is a good film. Long in the tooth, but not Scorsese's best.
No.
Like, it's not Goodfellas.
No. No.
Goodfellas is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Why
it's
is it one of your favorite? Because it's quotable, right? Because you can remember these fucking scenes, you can act them
it's
out.
quotable, but I can relate to it. I grew up in Rosedale, Queens, which was a stone throw away
All
from
right.
five towns, which was a stone throw away from five towns, right?
5,000 is
So,
my spot.
right? So, all these places these guys went to,
Mm-hmm.
I know people who are older than me. They used to hang out with these guys, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something I can relate to because guess what? If I'm in the street and something happens like that, I'd probably react the same fucking way.
Right.
Someone told me to go get my fucking shine box. If I had a fucking piece on me, I'd fucking pistol whip them too.
Mm-hmm.
Not to sound tough, but that's just where I came from. That's
Yeah,
the way I grew up.
I get it.
I wouldn't be going into a safe space looking for my feelings, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not me. I'll punch a fucker in the throat and ask questions afterwards, and that's just the way I am. And again, I'm not trying to be a tough guy because I don't like fighting. I think fighting should always be the last resort, but just it's real.
It's instinct.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the way life was growing up in the 80s and the 90s.
Mhm.
You see this shit. You saw John Gotti on the news.
Yep.
You knew not to mess with the old Italian guy at the end of the block he was connected. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You don't go to the social club fucking starting trouble or doing anything
Yeah, man.
stupid in front of the social club because you know you're fucking get your ass kicked. Shit like that. But anyway, that's why I like it.
I hear you, man. Listen, one of the flicks that I'm looking forward to. I don't know how you feel about horror films. I know you're not really into zombies, but I mean, what's up with Halloween Kills? You big into the whole relaunch of the franchise, but spitting off from the original and just discrediting anything that happened in between.
I'm not really big into it. I don't hate him. Like I grew up watching Freddy. I
Okay.
liked Freddy versus Jason. I thought it was a fun film.
Hmm.
Um, Again, all those 80s slasher films, like Silent Night, Deadly Night, I liked
Hmm.
when I remember growing up. Um, One of my favorite ones. I'm a big into vampires. I like vampires.
Okay.
Was what was it called? They remade it. Oh fuck. Well, my favorite vampire movie of all time is Lost Boys. But
Okay.
what was was it? Oh shit. It was the guy kid moves in, his neighbors
Oh,
next door.
Fright Night.
Fright Night. Fright
Yes,
Night, the
that,
original.
that remake was the drizzling shits, bro.
Yes. The original was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, but I'm not a really big horror guy. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying?
If you're into vampires and you like Taika Waititi, right? Big fan of his.
Loved the series that came out.
Have you
Into
seen
the
the movie?
Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows?
No, I have not seen the movie. I've seen the show.
Dude, just as fucking good.
Oh yeah,
Hysterical
oh
beyond
yeah. I've
belief, bro.
heard. I've heard. Did you watch the series?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's just as good, dude.
The best episode is with Mark Hamill, bro.
What? That's
Just
it.
watch it.
That's
That's watch
it.
it. Just watch it.
Oh my god, bro.
It is hilarious. I
One of my
died
favorites,
laughing.
bro.
I died laughing.
That
Um,
mockumentary and the vampire lifestyle, but
oh,
brilliant,
dude,
man.
like
And the shit that they're spinning off with the werewolves, man. Forget about it.
big time. Like I even like the first Werewolves vs Vampire with the hot chick Kate Beckinsale. What was that?
What, the underworld?
Yeah, the first one I
Oh
liked.
man, you spend your money and your time on a lot of shit, don't you?
No,
Dude,
I used to sneak into Green Acres, the movie theater, all the time and watch
the
fucking.
Green Acres Theater, dude. That was my spot. They still got the fucking the metal detectors in there.
After Godfather 3, they did, but that's not there
It was
anymore.
shoot at this. Oh, they shut it down.
They tore it down. It's not there anymore. Now it's a fucking Sonic.
Are you kidding me, man? I got so many. They had what, like 16, 17 screens over there?
Something like that.
Dude, I went there as a kid. I saw Return of the Jedi there, Temple of Doom. I mean, I got The Exterminator. Fucking,
Temple of Doom is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Indiana Jones movie.
I just found out recently that's a prequel
That's
to
a
Raiders.
prequel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had no fucking idea. I was like, what? Hold up. And I've never seen Last Crusade. Go figure.
Last Crusade is great.
Yeah, I gotta go see it.
And you know what? The last one was like Crystal Skulls.
Yeah, something like that. No.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I watched it a second time. I watched it when it
Mm.
first came out, and I thought it was the drizzling shits. I watched it a second time, and it wasn't that bad. There were certain parts there's one part that took me out the movie, and you're like, okay, I can see why it was stupid. Like, but other than that one scene, it wasn't really that bad. It was your typical Indiana Jones movie, and the payoff at the end wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But
We're probably about 10 years too late in reviewing this movie right now, but
yeah, but the new one's coming out, and supposedly the new one's supposed to be taking place on the moon with some moon landing shit.
wait, what? Oh man, I don't know. I know that they just started casting Indy 5, so I'm kind of excited they're gonna ramp this shit up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It takes place at the end of the 60s during the Cold War, and it's supposed to be taking place with, I don't know if Indiana Jones is going to have some kind of ties with the Apollo mission or some
Okay.
moon shit, some kind of space. Look, the problem is when you start with the Holy Grail,
Mm-hmm.
there really isn't anywhere else to go.
Yeah, it's like now what the fuck you gonna look for,
You
but
know, that's why they made the freaking Temple of Doom a prequel, because it was some rocks in India. Like that's gonna fucking trump the you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna trump the Holy Grail. And then the
yeah,
third
yeah.
one was the cup of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's on par. You know,
Okay.
and then the fourth one was interdimensional beings, which were
Yeah,
aliens.
I'm good.
It's like, okay, the execution and the payoff wasn't that great.
Hmm.
Did you watch the last one, Crystal
No,
Skulls?
no, I did, yeah, no, I'm good.
There's one scene. I'm gonna let you, spoiler alert. I'm gonna let you know that Shia LaBeouf plays his son, right,
Yeah,
in the movie that he didn't know he had. Now I like Shia LaBeouf. I don't think he's a bad actor. He's a little
no, he's got
nut job,
chops.
but he did a good job in this movie. There's one scene where there's monkeys and he starts swinging on the vine like monkeys to get from point A to point B like Tarzan, and it just took me out of the movie. And I'm like, all right, that just
Yeah.
sucked. You got to get rid of that fucking scene. You get rid of that fucking scene, the movie's just a lot better. And it's just
Mhm.
like, really, dude, that's what you fucking did. You have him swinging, screaming like fucking Tarzan from vine to vine. Like, really? You expect me to believe that shit?
Mhm.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
So, and then again, the payoff with the aliens at the end, the execution wasn't fulfilling for all that buildup of the
I heard
entire.
that the term is nuke the fridge or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he jumped into a fridge because he ended up, and he was fighting the Nazis. He ended up falling into one of these nuclear test sites,
Yeah.
and then he realized where he was, and then they shot the nuke. And in order for him to survive, he jumped into one of those old school fridges, and then the nuke went, and the fridge went flying in the air, and it landed. The door opened, and he came rolling out, and he
Yeah,
survived.
I'm gonna take a hard pass on that one. So it's just like I'm
So,
good. Yeah, it's funny, man. Back in the day, I would watch just about anything, and now, like, there's shit that I know is gonna be shit, but I'm like, I need to prove myself right about this. Um, but yeah, man, we should definitely do a movie podcast. We should talk. Granted, you don't know directors too well because you fucking.
listen, I'll tell you who I am a mark for: Guy Ritchie, great
Oh,
director.
dude, yeah. Have you seen Wrath of Man yet?
Wrath of Man. No, the last Guy Ritchie film I saw was
What, Gentlemen?
yes,
Good movie.
fucking great movie.
Good fucking movie, man. Yeah.
All his, I even liked his King Arthur movie, to be honest with you.
I didn't give that one a shot. I wanted to, but I didn't
It
really.
flopped at the box
Yeah.
office. I'm a very, very huge mark for Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
I forgot he did those. See, I won't watch those. For some reason, it's just it's not for me. And I
Yeah,
love Downey, and I love Guy Ritchie and Jude
they're
Law.
good. They're good. They're
Yeah.
good. They're good. They are
Just never been.
good.
I've never been a. I want to see more of like like Snatch. I love Snatch.
Oh
I love
yeah, Lock,
Lock,
Stock, Two
Stock, Two
Smoking,
Smoking Barrels.
Rock and Roller.
Rock. I was gonna say Rock and Roller to me didn't really do it for me, but The Gentleman brought it back. The Gentleman was right down that alley. He's got another one that he's working on now. I can't remember what the hell the name of it was. I think
What did you say the last one was? Wrath of
Wrath
Man.
of Man. It's with Jason Statham. More of a
Okay,
revenge film. They kill his
it's
son.
okay.
Yeah, I'll fucking see it, man. Guy Ritchie's got the shit.
And I like Jason Statham. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, yeah. Although I'm gonna skip that sequel to that shark movie he made. Fuck that shit. Yeah, dude. You there's no way you can sell me on the Meg. Don't
No,
even try.
I've never. Nope, I won't watch it.
Yeah, I'm fucking wrapped. But speaking of rap, bro, let's wrap it up. I know you got shit to do. I got shit to do.
I got 37 kids, brother. I don't rap
You got
shit.
37 kids. So you gotta go feed them, man. I know you got 37 jobs. You go take care of these little guys, man.
Got to go to work, man.
Listen, man, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can see clips of your stuff. Tell them about the NFO podcast. I want to give it to you right now. Give them all your social media handles. You give all the shout outs you want.
All right. You could find me on Twitter at Greek God Papadon and Instagram at Greek God Papadon. Facebook, Demetrius Papadon. The YouTube channel, Greek God Papadon. You see the pattern forming, people?
Yeah.
My Pro Wrestling Tees / guess what? Greek God Papadon. The NFL podcast, New Force Order. It is a Star Wars podcast, which incorporates Star Wars and wrestling a little bit into it. Not wrestling news, more wrestling lingo. It's myself, Alex Arroyo, who's a real doctor, and Spiros Antonopoulos, who is a photographer / movie director, independent movie director. And we talk shop and bust each other's balls like fucking guys at a bar. We'd be talking about chicks. we do it talking about Star Wars, because at the end of the day, there's only one thing better than Star Wars, and that's more fucking Star Wars. And that is the New Force Order. You can find it at every platform. We're on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. It's New Force Order. And the links are at NFO underscore podcast on Twitter, New Force Order on Instagram, official New Force Order on Facebook, and a New Force Order at yahoo.com is the email address. I'm also on another podcast called the Conspiracy Horsemen, which is on hiatus right now, more shadow banned and blocked than a hiatus. We'll say,
explain that. What's going on there?
well, the Conspiracy Horsemen is as you can say, we talk about conspiracies, but it's more of a free thinking, free thought podcast. It is
Okay.
myself, Stevie Richards.
Mhm.
Some of you guys may know from WWE and ECW. Big Sal Graziano from the FBI, aka ECW, WWE, and another independent wrestler by the name of Ben Hamin. The four of us are four pro wrestlers who talk about conspiracy theories and analyzing and always questioning the narrative. Now, we don't tell you people why we think we're right and why everything else is wrong. We approach a certain topic from different point of views, and 90% of the time, the four of us don't agree on a topic. So we talk about it, we debate about it, we argue with each other, but it's all done civilly, and we do it with love. And we talk about everything underneath the sun, whether it's politics, whether it's the flavor of the week, whether it's Bigfoot, aliens, cryptids, Loch Ness, 9/11, JFK, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The whole COVID scandal, everything. But because of our truth speaking ways, we have been inclined by our legal counsel not to talk about what has happened. And we are off the air right now, to say the least, being shadow banned and blocked by certain outlets like YouTube and Podbean. And we got thrown off of Twitch.
Hold on. So they canceled your channel on YouTube.
They demonetized a lot of the videos.
Okay.
So you could probably still see whatever videos are up there, but
But are you guys doing this tongue in cheek, or is it
no,
it's your true beliefs?
It's true beliefs to a certain extent. Like, for example, we talk about the Mandela effect, we talk about CERN, we talk about many different topics. We've been doing it almost 3 years. Probably a little longer than 3 years. But we haven't done a new episode in quite some time because of the shadow banning and us getting thrown off certain platforms. And it sucks because we were getting a lot of downloads, both from people in the business and a lot of people outside of the business. Okay. And people are asking me left and right what's going on. And we can't really talk about it legally. We've been advised not to. But hopefully we'll blow a comeback soon and we'll be back where we need to be. But you could catch whatever archive episodes may or may not be available on YouTube or any other podcast outlet. It's Conspiracy Horsemen. And that's basically it, man. Catch me at a show near you.
Very intrigued. I'm wondering if maybe the office is like, yo, did you hear this Papadon motherfucker talking about that shit? Yeah.
Look, man.
Don't take his calls.
Look, here's the deal. You might be right. You might be very right. But look.
I mean, dude, there's a couple of WWE wrestlers have been released because of their political views that they've been spreading around the locker room. I'm afraid that maybe they heard some of your conspiracy theories.
Hey, listen,
I don't know.
Hey, look, I'm a grown man. You're a grown man.
Freedom of speech, man.
Not only freedom of speech, but I'm not going to let this business or anybody else in any level of power dictate what I can and cannot say, or what I can or how I can think, no matter if it costs me a job or not. At the end of the day, I have to look myself in the mirror and I got to be truthful to myself and what I believe in, both artistically as a professional, but most importantly as a man. I can't be one of these fucking guys who are fucking fake and say hi to you in your face and stab you in the back. Right. If I don't fucking like you, I'll tell you to your face, you're a piece of shit and I don't like you. And that's the way I was raised, and that's the way I'm always going to be. And maybe that's a detriment in a business full of snakes, because I'm very truthful. But again, these promoters don't want this cancer in the locker room. If they want truthfulness and they want honesty, then fucking hire GGP, whatever. So, if you don't,
But just to clarify, this was just like free thinking, speaking up, like, hey, lock this monster. What's your thought on it? Boom, you put it out there. You guys weren't like fanatics, like InfoWars, putting out shit like as
No,
facts.
see, Infowars. See, like here we go. Infowars. I think Alex Jones is an idiot. I
Thank
think he is a CIA operative who was put in this position where he is right now to hit people with this information, to make all free thinkers, or what you want to call them conspiracy theorists, look like they're on the fringe and look crazy because he's acting like a grown man child, like a crybaby. Because every time he had an opportunity to express himself civilly on an articulate level in public,
Mhm.
he went off the fucking rails like a fat man baby. And that's what people get the impression when you say conspiracy theory. But the
Okay.
funny fact is, conspiracy theory was a term invented by the CIA to make those free thinkers who question the narrative look crazy so they can work the gimmick on the public. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff we talk about that is truthful that you can see through disclosure on the CIA websites, like Operation Northwoods, which was a plot to kill American civilians and blame it on Cuba during the JFK administration. And it was
Listen,
gonna
ladies and
happen.
gentlemen, this is the last episode of the Midnight Hustle podcast.
It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen, and then JFK put the kibosh on it, and a month later he died.
Okay.
Right? Uh, Operation Paperclip. A lot of people don't know what that is, but it's true. Where we took 2,000 Nazis, the top Nazi scientists that were right-hand men in the Nazi party, to Hitler and everything else, because Hitler was big into aliens and the occult and the cryptics and
Mhm.
and all this fucking devil worshiping and all this fucking occult shit, and brought him over to the US and gave him jobs at NASA. So
That's the
Warner,
backdrop of Hunters, isn't it?
yes, and I saw that show and I thought it was good till the payoff with Pacino, which was whack.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe they built all that up and that was the payoff. I was like,
Yeah.
really? So,
Yeah.
but it is the backdrop, but it's true. That
Mhm.
really happened in this country. And a lot of it, like Warner von Braun was best friends with Walt Disney. And Walt Disney did a lot of propaganda films for both the US and for Nazi. You know what I'm saying? So did Ford. Ford built a lot of fucking tanks for Nazis.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
for the
it's been fun knowing you guys.
No, but do you see what I'm
The
saying?
thoughts
bro?
coming out of Greek God Papadon of his own, out of the Midnight Hustle podcast.
Like we talk about JFK, we talk about 9/11. You know what I'm saying?
Don't even go. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No. I'm just saying. Like we've talked about 1,000,001 different
No,
things. The
off the
moon,
air. Off the air.
the moon landing, shit like that. You know, aliens.
Look,
You know,
bullshit. My Netflix queue has a bunch of shit. Like I'm big into, not that I'm big into UFOs, but I know there's fucking shit out there.
no, they're here already, bro.
Shit like that. Area 51. I'm like, yeah, tell me more. Tell me more. There's certain shit I don't want to fuck with because I don't know who's listening.
Listen, they look. I hate to break it to you. We are being listened to all the time.
Of course, I know.
Now, look, put it this way. What's the best way to keep a secret or to reveal a secret? You keep it in plain sight. Racist. You need to be fucking crucified. Really? It was called comedy, guys.
They've ruined my personality. But ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be talking to Papadon about the Capitol riots. So you might want to hear some of that.
That should never happen. And not for nothing, you can't really call it a Capitol riot when they go home at 5 o'clock, like Fred Flintstone. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the bell rang. Let's go home and eat dinner. Come on, man. Please. Meanwhile, we have BLM fucking protests burning down cities and taking over portions of fucking Portland.
It was all Antifa's fault. Antifa sponsors the podcast. I don't know.
Listen, bro, all I'm saying is that, look, I am a very big
Uh.
proponent. If rules are in place, they need to be in place evenly across the spectrum. You can't choose and pick when it's going to be viable for this group and not viable for that group, and viable because then it's not fair, and then you have that double standard coming into play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's where the logic and reason
Mhm.
comes into play. But
Right.
there is no more logic and reason.
Listen, I'm not against anybody like yourself who says, hey, I want to question this. I want to think about it first. You know, I'm not sold 100%. Give me some more information, as opposed to other people who's just like, yo, this is all politics. I'm not doing it because my side doesn't believe in it. My side is
Exactly.
just like, yeah, and I'm not for that. If you're making a decision because, and I'll call it an educated decision. I've done the research. I feel this way. I've weighed the pros and cons. I've read the reports. I just don't feel it's for me. I respect you. And again, you're making it about, oh no, fuck Biden or they stole the election. I'm like, yo, you know what? That's not what this is about. We're all one people. We got to look out for each other. We got to protect this human race, and we
Exactly,
got to
bro.
keep peace amongst each other, man. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly. And unfortunately, we're not at that plateau because they know that when we do reach that level
yeah,
of all being on the same frequency and all being in the same mindset, there's a lot of us compared to them. And the
hmm,
power shifts to our favor. It's like the boys coming together against the office.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. Listen, in the words of Jay-Z, he said, "There's much bigger issues in the world I know, but I first got to take care of the world I know." So
You're
take
right.
care of your own. Be careful with your family. Take care of your kids. Do what you feel is right, but just be safe, man. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, to everyone listening to this, be safe. I agree with Derek. Do what you feel is right. And if you deal with people who disagree with you, try to have a civil discussion with them about the said situation and whether or not you agree with it, whatever. At the end of the day, we're all people. We're all entitled to our opinions.
Of
Now,
course.
if you can't express your set opinion or you can't take another person's opinion from a different point of view civilly and
Hmm.
respect them for it, then you need to go back to school and learn some manners and learn how to work. Because at the end of the day, that's all this is. Life's a giant work, and we're all pawns on the chessboard, but we
Damn
have
right.
to learn how to coexist.
Hell yeah, man. And with that said, brother, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. We got to do this shit again. We got to talk off the air about setting up this fucking movie podcast. 'Cause I think,
And we got to talk about the Havok too off the air. I got to tell you what
yeah,
happened.
definitely, man. We definitely will. I spoke to John Shane a couple of day or two ago. He wanted to run some stuff by me. He filled me in on some details and stuff. But yeah, like I said, we'll definitely talk off the air. But bro, I'm wishing you nothing but the best, man. I want to
Same
see
here,
you
my
out
man.
there.
I love you.
I love you too, man. And like I said, it breaks my heart seeing what's going on, but I love the fire that you got in you. I love that don't quit attitude, and don't let nothing stop you, man. You're bulletproof, man. And
Thank
I
you.
love and respect you, and your day will come soon, and we will talk about it more on a future episode here, the Midnight Hustle. So, brother, thank you for taking the time. Oh shit, that fucking light just hit me in the eye. Thank you for taking the time, man. And hey, I got to get back on this new Force Order podcast sometime soon. We got some more shit to chew
You're
up.
more than welcome to come on wherever you want, brother. We'll have a good time talking.
All right, brother, man. Best to you and your family and your 37 kids.
Thank you.
Shit going on, man. Love you, and I will talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Midnight Hustle podcast. We are here. That's the Greek God Papadon. This is Die Hard. Derek Gordon. Can you dig it? We out.